Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4PlayerNetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4Player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy.
Brad?
No.
You don't want to take over?
This is the start of the show.
Oh my god. Hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 606. It is July 11th, 2019. My name is Nick Henderson. I'm joined by Brad Simons.
Yo.
Nolan Hedstrom.
How's it going, everybody?
Christopher Guthridge.
Hello.
Christopher Davis.
Hello.
He was muted.
I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Hello.
There it is.
He's still muted. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. We do know it's been, 2 or 3 weeks since we've all been together in the studio to record a show together, so it's nice. Welcome back. How's everybody doing?
We're good.
Doing okay, you know.
Still alive.
Yeah?
Been better.
Yeah. It's all right.
I probably have a sickness brewing inside me.
At least it's not
That
brewing
sounds
outside
dark.
you.
But yeah, it's good to be back in the studio. I'm glad I'm ready to talk about some video games. I will say this last week, was it last week or the week before? What was last week?
Last week we did Mario Maker.
Last week was Mario Maker,
Mhm.
which we're going to talk about tonight, right?
Mhm.
I'm assuming y'all played a good amount of Mario Maker
A
that night?
decent amount. Yeah.
Cool. We'll talk about Super Mario Maker 2, and then the week before that, Brad and I recorded a special episode that's available now with David. So check that out. It's a little bit more of an unconventional podcast recording, but it was fun. Check that out. But yeah, here we are. Let's talk about fucking video games. I'm not going to do feedback tonight because there wasn't a ton of it. It's been a couple weeks since we had a proper show, so I will just use this opportunity to remind you. We love to hear from you guys. If you're listening to the show and you have any opinions or any thoughts or questions related to any of the discussions we're about to have on the show, we welcome you to go to the site at 4playernetwork.com, leave a comment on the post for this episode, and starting next week, we will read back those responses or those questions and react to them. And of course, we are going to answer questions from our supporters on Patreon in the second segment. So if you're interested in supporting us financially, you can, for as little as $1 a month, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4player. And
Look at that, Nick. You didn't miss a beat.
Damn.
Discord. I forgot about Discord.
You missed a beat.
I missed a beat.
That's the most important beat.
The most important. Oh God, I missed 2 beats. The most important thing I need to mention is, of
Forgot
course,
about
we have
the
a
beats.
Discord. Discord.gg/4player. That's where it's at. That's where we're all hanging out, talking about video games, talking about movies, talking about soup or something. I don't fucking know. There's all kinds of weird
generally
conversations.
always talking about soup.
Yes, in the general channel.
There should be a soup channel.
I bet by the end of this recording, there will be a soup channel in our Discord. But yes, we invite you, if you listen to the show, or if you're new, whatever, please feel free to jump into our
I
Discord.
wonder if anyone has a
It's very
soup podcast.
happening.
Dude, somebody has to, right?
There's
Someone
gotta
just
be.
reviews soups.
It's just called, like, Soup's On.
Somebody.
Had delightful minestrone.
I want to hear. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Talk soup.
Speaking of
Like,
podcasts,
Italian
actual soup.
wedding.
It has to be a podcast about actual soup.
my niece came up to me last weekend and was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a podcast. You have any advice? And I'm like,
Don't do
Better
it.
with your
When,
life.
no.
Don't do it.
I was just like, I've been doing it for so long. I'm sure like anything like I use or do or whatever is sort of like not obsolete, just like probably stupid. like for you. And she was like, oh, I heard a lot of people use this app. And I'm like, what app? Use an app to do a podcast? Like I was like, I got nothing. So I was like, what about microphones? And I'm like, I use a black one. I don't
Jesus.
So I just Googled some shit. Oh, Google's telling me this is good.
That's wonderful.
Do you have a FireWire port on your computer?
God damn it, Brad. It's not 2010. We don't need Firewire anymore.
This wasn't in the news, guys, but should we talk about this bathwater thing?
I mean, we can't. I heard someone drank.
this
I heard
should
someone
be
drank
in the
it and
news.
got sick.
I heard there might be a class action lawsuit.
Against the girl with
Some
the bathwater?
biologist like tested the water and found no DNA traces.
What?
She's selling just water.
but, like-
She's a known troll though.
Wow.
Oh,
She's a known
man.
troll. But like she's advertising it as bathwater.
Wait. Hold on a
That
second. You're
she's-
telling me in the same like week or 2 week period, someone is potentially facing class action lawsuits for licking ice cream because of they're putting bodily, you know.
No,
Well,
was
that's serious.
That was like someone was facing 20 years in jail.
Yeah, that's actually
True. And on the other end of the spectrum,
That
we have
was a
someone who's
minor, though.
facing class action lawsuit for not having any
For
bo-
not selling any
for not
bodily
selling
fluids.
the-
Potentially, she
Selling
could.
water,
Yeah.
She
bottled
could
water.
though. I mean, she could be sued.
I mean, that
Snake
does
oil.
sound like fraud. That does straight up sound like
It's
fraud.
fun. Have you seen the video that she did?
Dude, I watched like a 10-second clip that
I
somebody
haven't
posted
seen
on
any
Twitter.
of it. I just
Yeah.
know it exists.
It's definitely false advertising.
It's
Brad's mad because he just learned he didn't actually get bodily fluids in the bathwater he bought. Brad's like, sign me up for this class action. I thought it
my
was Jessica
God.
Alba's bathwater.
It is funny that we very recently had many discussions and joke discussions about bathwater, and here we are. Now someone is selling bathwater, fake bathwater, but hey, that's neither here nor there. I think this discussion we've just had kind of covers that topic of conversation, so we can move on.
Okay.
All right,
That's a thing that happened.
that is definitely a thing that happened. All right. So what's been going on? It's been a few weeks since we've been able to sit around and talk about video games. So why don't we start with?
You have no idea what we're gonna.
I
talk
have
about.
no. I mean, I do. I remember what's on the dock. I'm just trying to figure out what's newest. I guess. Why don't we talk about Super Mario Maker since y'all played that last week? No.
We just said that, Chris Davis. What the fuck? Messing up the 5 minutes of silence. Going over
Super
stuff Nick's already talked about.
Chris Davis.
Mario Maker 2. It's okay. It sucks. I don't like it.
Brad's just mad because he didn't do good when we played.
Yeah,
Every time we
I
passed the
did
controller,
fine.
Brad lost.
No,
He didn't finish any levels.
The past the controller system.
no.
So what did y'all end up doing?
So-
Did y'all end
so
up
I-
playing like a bunch of levels created by other people, or
Yeah,
that's what you
community
do in
either
Mario
created
Maker.
or suggested levels, yeah.
cool?
And you know, like any of these kind of games, your experience is up to the skill of the people making levels. you
Yeah,
know?
so we had some good
Oh.
levels, we had some bad levels.
If you're watching us live,
It
we
has
may-
been a
we
while
might
since
have to
we've
cut
done
the
a
feed
regular
for a split second.
podcast.
Sorry,
We'll cut the feed for a second, but we'll keep talking.
we're gonna keep recording. We'll be right back. Anyways,
So it's like Christy was saying, it depends on the level you got.
Uh-huh.
There were some that were really enjoyable, some that were
Yeah.
fun. There was one that was a fucking Metroidvania level.
Yeah.
It literally you had to go around.
how long was the level? How did you
So
do
the
that?
average,
It was like a really
hold on,
condensed
the world record for beating it was over an hour.
But
It was like an hour
but I
and
think
like
only
20
like
minutes. or
like
something.
not
It was like
so
20
many
minutes.
people.
Sure, not
played
that
it,
too many
but-
people have played it, but I'm saying it's one of those things where most likely, if someone was the first time playing it, they're not going to do it too much faster.
And I think when we beat it, like the average went down a lot on that.
We never finished it. We didn't finish the Metroidvania
There
one.
was one of them where like we beat it and the average went down.
Oh no, yeah, there was definitely one where we improved the average
Oh, that
time.
was that one.
But no, the Metroidvania one we actually ended up giving up on because the problem with it was the game is still based on Mario, like the world itself. So you have a timer, and so the problem is it's like every time you die, or sorry, every time that timer runs out, you have to restart it. And so it's kind of one of those things where you have to kind of figure, oh wait, how do I do this again, or get
Yeah.
a checkpoint or something like that. So I don't know. I mean,
It's the thing about Mario Maker for me is that like you can go browse levels that people have made, like these are popular or these are like puzzle style, and it's like the most excitement I get out of it is like, oh, that's kind of neat,
yeah.
or like this is really hard, or that was cool, but it's not like super fulfilling for me. So in my own time I've been playing which is fine. In a group setting, it does a lot better.
Yeah.
I would say in a group setting it is horrible because the multiplayer part of it's so bad.
Well, okay, but
Did y'all play a lot of the multiplayer?
no, not
No.
really. Not really.
just because it's bad.
So on my own time, I've been playing a lot of the single player, and like it's fine. These are all Nintendo made levels. There's a little bit more of like a campaign.
Can I interject real quick,
Sure.
Brad, just because we're watching footage? This footage is a good example of there are some levels that have requirements. And so if you look on the top left, right to the right of Mario's
Yeah.
life count, the objective is you have to finish the level with that block.
Oh.
And so since he didn't pick up that block early on,
It's
he
like
had
the
to-
gnome thing.
Who
You
was
gotta
playing
carry a
this?
block.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
I
You
was-
you
No,
can
Henry
set you can
was
set
playing.
conditions now, like collect this many coins,
That
or
makes more sense.
don't beat this level without jumping and stuff. And the single player is a good like demonstration of like all these cool ideas and stuff. And they're all Nintendo made levels, and that's cool because they're good at making levels. But like the package is still kind of lame to me. Now it's a little more than the first one, where the first one was just a list of levels. Now there's a little like hub where you're like building a castle, and that's like unlocking more characters that you can talk to that will give you more levels to play as. But it's still sort of like choosing levels from a list, and it's more just the fact that like everything's just a little bit sluggish, takes a little too long to like do anything, get into a level, get out of a level, all the animations for going into a level and getting out of a level. It's just like it's not snappy and responsive, and I just want to get to the action. And maybe this is like classic Nintendo stuff, but it's just like, get on with it already. I feel like this shit would benefit so much from being like quick, snappy, responsive, and it's not that.
I will say that
it's just like kind of dragging it down a little bit.
I will say that on some of the more difficult levels, the fact that it's not something like Super
Like, see-
Meat Boy where you can immediately restart a level.
You see how this shit pops up, and it's like,
yeah, it
oh,
takes time.
you got this many coins, and let's open this door. And I'm like, come the fuck on.
No, I got you, Brad. It's one of those things where, especially in stuff like this, where you're going to spend an hour playing the game, you want to play like a lot of
Yeah.
shit. And when it does that slow down, like I said, even when you die on a level, it doesn't take like 2 seconds to restart. So it takes like 5-6 seconds, and it's like one of those things where
It adds up
in this
quick,
day and
yeah.
age, you could
Yeah.
very quickly restart sections. I mean, when you look at something like Trials or Super Meat Boy or something, where you have like or N Plus, where you have like an immediate restart.
And it's just not fun to move around this hub world. And they're trying to add a little more structure this time around, but like it's still really fucking basic. It doesn't compare to like exploring the overworlds like in Mario 3 or Mario World. It's just really basic shit.
What are the distinguishing features of this one versus
Well,
the first one?
like I
So
said,
you can do slopes.
you can
couldn't do slopes in the first
well,
one?
Yeah.
I mean, lots of nitty gritty into the creation. The big stuff is like setting the conditions. There's like some multiplayer stuff now.
Well, they added the Mario 64 stuff.
Music and
music.
from like Sunshine and 64.
Yeah, and they added
The 3D world
3D world
set,
stuff.
which has like very unique mechanics that you can't
But-
swap between.
It's just one of those things where I think they just give you more opportunities to do stuff. It's one of those things where we play that one level that turned into like a fucking horror game, where all of a
Yeah.
sudden like it turned grayscale and the music got intense and like shit was
It was, like,
chasing you.
screaming and stuff.
Yeah, dude, like you can do a lot more.
It's cool, but like I still get that feeling of like, oh, that was really neat,
Yeah.
like kind of like playing like some Little Big Planet levels. Except I don't know, these don't really stick with me as much because maybe they're a little.
Too familiar?
Well, I mean,
There's
maybe
not
there's
enough-
just so much you can do. It still comes down to like, hey, it's a platforming challenges, and we've been playing Mario games all our fucking life. And I don't want that to like make it seem like the game is bad, because I feel like if you're in a certain situation, especially if you're getting really into the creation aspect, which I have not, like I could see how this game could be really rewarding if you have a community of people who like really get into like creating levels for each other and playing those levels for each other. I could see how this game could be really rewarding. That's just not me. Some of the people in our community have been swapping levels around, and they seem really into it. But I feel like
we still have a Discord channel, I think, set up for
yeah,
it. So.
yeah. But unless you specifically get into like creating levels, which like I don't. Unlike maybe like Little Big Planet, I don't think you're gonna get too much out of just playing, just because everything feels so like bite-sized, and navigating the game just feels kind of sluggish. That the most I can do is like play a few levels and be like, okay, I guess I'm done with this for now. I'll be at the or whether it's the single player or the multiplayer or the downloaded levels. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fine. It's more Mario Maker. I wasn't like super into that first one, I guess, and I feel the same about this one. I do think it's better. It's cooler. I mean, it's easier to do puzzle stages when you have like condition-based stuff like this, right?
I think this was always going to be one of those games that's like hard to, like at the end of the day, whether it's an improvement or not, it's going to be hard to like feel much different about it than the first one, just because of the nature of the kind of game it is. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Like I
sure.
think Little Big Planet 2 is obviously like an improvement over Little Big Planet 1, but I still look at
That
it
was
as like
more
a Little Big
significant, I
Planet
think,
game.
than
You know what I
this.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
the improvements of Little Big Planet 2 from 1 are a lot more significant than I think this from the last Mario Maker game. I think they just really wanted to get Mario Maker on the Switch, and they were like, well, we might as well just do a sequel than like porting it. But one of the benefits to Mario Maker 1 was you had all the touchscreen pad while you could create and play on the TV.
Because you're on the Wii U, so
He-
you could
here-
do all that stuff.
Yeah, here it's a little more awkward. Like if you're on TV, you can only use buttons to create, and if you're on the pad, you can only use the touchscreen. You can't even use like the
What?
Joy-Cons and stuff. So
Whoa,
like
whoa.
you can't just get used
Wait,
to
you can-
one style. You have to get used to like both styles.
when it's not docked, you can only use touchscreen controls.
correct.
But like, it doesn't come with a stylus.
No, you
got
need,
your-
you
Nick,
need a
your
finger or
finger
a
is your
capacitive
stylus or your
stylus.
penis, I
stylus.
guess.
I mean, I know, but like, it's just one of those things. Like they made
Interesting.
they released a game for a system. Like, I'll be
There
honest,
was like an edition in like Europe and Japan that came with the stylus. That version didn't come over
to
here.
this day, I still occasionally check to see if like, does this have a stylus on it? Because I keep forgetting. And
I jumped.
This,
You're not supposed to
sucks.
jump in this stage. So I mean, it's fine. I gameplayed it. I'm probably gonna send it back for like something a little more for me, I guess you could say. But it's nice. It's clever. I had fun last Thursday, so
cool. I don't know. I mean,
don't jump.
this does feel like.
I get more out of watching videos of people doing cool levels than trying them myself.
Do
honestly.
you think Super Mario Maker is eventually going to make its way to like they're going to incorporate like fully 3D?
I think that
like
they might
Mario
get there
64
someday.
or
But I
Sunshine or
mean,
something,
look
you
at the
know?
trouble like Dreams is having. Like once you go there, it gets like so much more complicated.
Yeah. It's funny. Like I haven't heard much about Dreams at all since we had that initial conversation, and like it's officially like out, right? Like it's no longer in early access.
I'm not
or
sure.
whatever the fuck.
Don't.
I don't know.
And I'm not talking shit about 2D Mario. Listen, this package just isn't built the same way like a well done 2D Mario is, where like you have worlds and levels with like cool themes. The way it's put together and exploring that world, like Mario 3, like Super Mario World, like some of the Mario Wii U. New Super Mario Bros. Wii U. God, the naming conventions are terrible.
Whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
But yeah, like that stuff's like way more compelling than just like kind of choosing levels from a menu, which is what this is. Even though they do clever stuff, it's just it's neat.
But y'all had fun with the community last week.
Yeah.
Cool beans. All right, we can move on. What do you say? Let's talk. Y'all are all playing Bloodstained, right?
I finished it.
I finished it as well.
I did not.
After 50 hours.
All right.
Although I did beat the one boss, and then the game was like,
That is-
game over. Not the real boss. Fuck you.
Yeah. That's pretty
Nice.
pretty
That-
standard
it was
stuff.
it was kind of weak though. Like compared to Symphony of the Night, where it was just a real ending.
Yeah.
If you just killed Richter.
Yeah, they make it very clear that it's
Yeah.
like, this is not
Well,
the
I
real
think
ending.
a lot of people probably got butthurt from the original one, and like, oh, I didn't know. And so yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like, this game looks like poop. And so I just wanted to make sure people know that, hey, if you defeat this boss like by doing this is not the real ending, so maybe do it again.
So since the last time we talked about this, Nolan has got I mean, you said you beat it, right?
Correct.
But you got like crazy addicted to it.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
It's very.
I mean, this is my
Crispy's
game.
really into it.
This is
Obviously,
my
you've always
footage
been
right
into
here.
it.
I'm definitely not as far as Brad in terms of exploration or kind of time played. I think I'm only at like 30 something hours. But I mean, I'm level like 54, which it seems like a lot lower than I thought I was going to be. But I have like 99.8% map
I can't believe
exploration.
how bad I fucked myself on this game.
I have plenty of shard upgrades and upgrades to myself and whatever. And I will say that the final boss was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I think just because of how leveled up I was, and the familiars I had, and the shards I was using, and the weapons.
Some
I
of the
had.
shit that you're using in this footage alone is just crazy. Like, I can't even
like
believe how.
it's one of those things where the later you get in the game, you get so much more to help you traverse the world a lot faster, because they know that you're probably going to be farming for certain shards and looking for certain item drops because you're trying to upgrade stuff. And so it definitely gives you exploration boosts.
I mean, I'll tell you this: like, just watching. This is obviously late game footage.
Oh, yeah.
But like just watching the character move around and jump around in this footage is like makes me I think about some of my complaints I had early on, which is how sluggish I think the game felt. Even when I played it on PC, like E3 and stuff, I was thinking to myself, like, I just don't like the way the game feels. I feel like it's very restrictive and very slow moving. But like, I'm watching you with all these upgrades and shit that you've got, and it definitely reminds me of like when you fully upgrade your character in Hollow Knight, or you know, and you're just like fucking blasting all over the place.
So Nick, I kind of tweeted about this the other week, that leading up to Bloodstained, I was super excited for this game. One of the original backers. I was ready for this game to come out. I love Symphony of the Night. The demo came out and I played it, and I wasn't too high on it.
I don't think any of us were high on it after any of the demos.
And
we played.
so then, you know,
Really?
I was like, well, you know, I backed it, so I'm gonna play it when it comes out. And then it came out, and I was like, I guess I'll play Bloodstained. I started playing it, and within the first like couple of hours, I didn't want to put it down. Like I immediately, don't get me wrong. Yes, I agree with you that early on exploration and stuff is a little cumbersome. It takes a little while before you start getting abilities that help you traverse the world a little bit better. But just as soon as you start like unlocking shit, it gets addictive. As soon as you're like, oh, what is this shard? Ooh, how does this shard work? Ooh, what is this? And like, it's just the fact that every shard, you know, changes as you upgrade it, and so you know, it can like have a pretty big difference, based on the level it is and the grade it is. The higher, the more of that shard you have, and so it just becomes this game of like, oh, let me just keep going. Let me farm this. Oh, this guy drops one of these. Let me just farm this guy for a good 20 minutes to see what I can get.
I mean, some shards you get them, and they just seem like trash, but then when you level up, you're like, oh wow, I didn't know this shard was gonna do this as I leveled it up, and it gets really cool.
Yeah, like Brett said, shards change. There's a luck shard, and when you get it to its max level, you can change it into a gold shard instead. So instead of giving you extra luck, it increases the chance of gold dropping and stuff like that. There's so much like thought and effort and time that went into this game's entirety. Like I've beaten the game, but if you look at like my like completion of actual like, you know, collections of shit in this world, like I'm nowhere. There's fucking enemies I haven't killed in this game.
So
I'm 99.8% explored, and there's still multiple enemies I've never even seen.
There's a hidden enemy on the train that like is fucking crazy.
I've not been back on the train. Oh my god, I need to go on the train again. I just realized that.
Apparently
You gotta look out
that
the window.
1% left, you have to get completion. Although, so here's a question: like, so all three of you guys are playing it. Do you get the? I'm watching footage of Nolan here. By the time y'all get far enough in the game, do you feel like there's enough room for experimentation and stuff that like your character looks and plays vastly different than like Brad's
What do you mean
or
looks?
Crispy's?
Looks.
I mean, like there's cosmetic differences in the character. Obviously, his character looks very different than I didn't even know you could change the look of the character that dramatically.
No, I mean the look is. I mean that's somewhat limited. You do have some options in like masks, accessories, all that stuff.
I was mostly referring to like the way the character plays.
Oh,
he's using very specific shards.
There is like dozens upon dozens of different shards and stuff. I don't
change how you interact with the world.
Like I don't. Everyone likes this painting because it's like super overpowering, and especially because you get it really early. It is, but like I mean, there's one of my favorite shards is you summon a witch who just pulls out an electric guitar and starts jamming and then summoning fireballs out of her guitar, and I got a mod that changes the song that she plays.
So I don't think I ever got that shard.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I know which character you're talking about, and I've beaten her so many, but she's never dropped a shard for me.
The shard
I need to farm her more.
And like the more you rank up, the longer she plays. And I got a mod that replaces the song that she plays with the metal version of Bloody Tears, which is a famous Castlevania song.
I love Bloody Tears.
So it's just so fucking rad.
Man, you would know it. How do you get? I mean, but how do they get the rights to play Castlevania music?
No. I said a mod.
It's a fan mod.
Oh, fan mod. Gotcha.
And I got a mod that changes all the backer portraits to Ayami Kojima art.
Nice.
Like dozens of different like art that she's done.
Yeah,
it's great. Except there's been a lot of painting mods. Like I saw one that's that painting of Kramer from Seinfeld. Stuff like that. Like, but all of them leave the cat in. There's one backer that used their cat instead of themselves as their portrait, and all of these mod makers leave the cat in. So it's all this like Ayami Kojima art and then a cat. That one cat.
Was it because like the cat died or something?
No, it's just because
probably just because it's the cat.
Just because everyone likes the cat.
Yeah.
No, I just thought it was maybe like
maybe the cat died.
A show of respect.
Did y'all hear the terrible news about Cheddar from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
No.
Cheddar?
The corgi from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, no.
No longer
died?
with us.
Yeah, he died. Oh, sorry, I didn't actually say that what I was talking about. Right? Yeah, the corgi died. That's so sad.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to rain your parade. There's the cat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Still not even sure what Korg you're talking about, but that's sad.
Holt's cat.
Mm-hmm.
You do watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
All right. Why are we still talking about?
Dog.
Sorry,
Yes.
Holt's dog. Sorry, I apparently can't speak tonight or say the correct thing at all. Yeah. So, anything else y'all want to say? Y'all been
No, I mean it's
playing the
fucking
shit
great
out
and it's
of
addictive, and you shouldn't let your the fact
Yeah,
that
I mean,
you bought the
here's-
Switch port keep you from playing the
It's
game.
it's so frustrating because I don't even remember making the decision to switch to the Switch. I was literally expecting a copy of the PS4 version until I made it home that day and opened the envelope and I was like, wait, what the fuck?
It
So
really
that's
killed. It really
unfortunate.
killed a lot of like hype for this game. I mean, whatever. The game
There was a
doing
big
fine. The
audience,
game
so-
did fine, but like everyone was sort of on cloud 9 until that Switch port came out, and then it started getting a lot of like, oh man, what the fuck?
Probably.
Especially because the Switch version of the game would have like outsold all the others like probably exponentially. So the fact that one has been like bad.
I mean, they are committed
Kind
to,
of
like,
a real bummer.
They are committed to patching it and they're
they
working
were.
on the input lags. I think the
They-
input
they
lag is
say
probably
that,
the
but,
biggest.
like, I don't.
I definitely
don't
believe this.
fucking
Is
know.
this
No,
what
there
you're
she
talking about,
is.
Brad? Yeah, dude, I've defeated her so many times and never gotten her shard.
There's another place she is in the castle where
She's when she's riding the thing. Yeah.
which looks fucking awesome. by the
It
way.
does. Yeah.
Here's a question. So, I mean, sorry, I'm rewinding back to the Switch port conversation for a split second. So they're talking about patching stuff right now, and they're focusing on input lags. Obviously, that's the most
Don't get your
important
hopes
thing.
I
mean,
mean,
but-
they
but-
seem like they've been pretty adamant about fixing issues.
I mean, like,
saying
but like, you got. I just finished playing one of the best Metroidvanias of my entire life on a Switch, and it played
Wait, you
like a
finished
goddamn
it?
dream.
Well,
Hollow
it's
Knight?
not the same.
oh, I
fucking
didn't even
developer.
go on the final boss. Never mind. Sorry.
Yes, like Hollow Knight plays like a goddamn dream.
Well, I mean, it's not the same.
I know it's not. I
developer.
mean, it's not apples to apples here, but I'm
this had a really like troubled development. Like 5 different
Are you
studios
saying
worked on this game.
are you saying
at different times?
You don't think there's something that can be done in the code to like help with the input lag? Is like
I mean,
if
maybe, but I don't think like you have like expert programmers working on it right now because I mean, look at the fucking problem in the first place. I mean, it shouldn't have been that bad in the first fucking place. I mean, this game doesn't look like Breath of the Wild. And the fact that
that's an understatement.
it did have these issues suggests that somebody somewhere doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, or they're just not good at it, or it was sort of an afterthought. And the fact that the development's been really troubled, and a lot of the stuff that was promised in like stretch goals is like quote unquote coming, just makes me think that
I also think just the resolution of the game itself when it's in motion is just like really disappointing. Like
it's a Switch
I know
game.
they're probably I doubt one thing I'm not getting my hopes up for is for them like patching in like
This is a
better looking visuals.
This is an Unreal Engine game, isn't it?
Yeah,
don't know.
I think it is.
I'm sure,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah,
Is
probably.
there, like-
Or Unity or something. It's just not well optimized. Even on the PS4, there's areas where there's like frame rate issues. That's a sign that the Switch port has a long way to go. And the timetable for that stuff, I'm just not optimistic. This game
I just can't
has
bring
been in
myself
development for like over 5 years.
I can't like it's at the point where it's like, why did I even back it if I'm just gonna turn around and buy a better version of it after?
I mean,
like I'm
you're-
paying for it twice at that point.
You're right. You are. I mean, you got screwed. A lot of people that got the Switch version.
I only
screwed.
pay twice
But,
for
like,
games when I've played them and I like them. Okay.
I mean, if you look at the Steam reviews, it's at an outstanding. You know,
I know.
It's like very, very highly rated. Like people aren't just aren't having those issues, and at this point, it's either like, you're either gonna pay the money and play a really dope game, or you're not. And it sucks, but it is what it is. I think at this point, I think the quality of the game outweighs like your frustration. Sell that copy. It's physical. That'll be worth something eventually.
It's true.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll try and get to it this year for sure. I just, at the time, like on the day of release or the weekend of release, I was just kind of like, I can't pay for this, right? I can't pay for it again.
Dude, you bought the game. Just whatever. You're not gonna like fucking pirate it or anything. but what I'm saying is like, they fucked up. Just play the fucking game. That's all I'm saying. If you already bought a copy,
I know.
is it on GOG?
I don't know.
Anyways,
Oh well. All right.
Delightful game.
yeah,
It's
it's really great. It's really
wonderful
bad.
game.
I seriously think
Pretty
this
fun.
this is one of the best Egomanias.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
yes.
In my opinion,
it's like-
Symphony of the Night, Bloodstained.
So far,
Really?
Like, everything,
Yes.
Holy
it's
shit.
Like everything
Dude.
I liked about Symphony of the Night and everything I liked about like the Sorrow games, just kind of
Yeah.
like.
This game is really fun.
Wow.
It's not
Like I
quite
knew
as,
y'all were enjoying it and everything, but like to hear y'all put it up there with Symphony of the Night,
It's
like
worth it, Nick. Just buy a good copy.
It's
of it.
wonderful. It's just kind of ugly, you know.
You have a job,
And
Nick.
it's too
You're an
easy. Like a better
Good point,
balance
Crispy.
Igavania is Order of Ecclesia. I recommend it. Like if you want kind of like a challenging, like more polished late Igavania, I recommend Order of Ecclesia on the DS. But yeah.
do you think that this game is successful enough that it's going to get a better looking sequel?
Oh, like for sure.
Oh yeah, no, they
For
will.
sure. There'll be more blood.
This is like a
There'll be more
franchise now.
bloodstain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Cool. Let's talk about the other new game. I don't know who all is playing it here, but we haven't talked about Judgment yet. It's been a few weeks since Judgment came out.
Wait, who's playing that?
I know I'm assuming
I
Brad's playing
started playing
Nice.
it this
All right,
week.
then
I've been playing it
Gameplay
too.
finally
Okay,
since
cool. Tell me about Judgment.
Well,
Or Yakuza.
it's Yakuza,
Yeah.
where you're a detective.
Which numbered Yakuza is
In
this?
Kamurocho. It's
In
not
Kamurocho.
a Yakuza game.
I'm
It's a Yakuza
just-
spin-off.
I'm
Correct.
trolling, okay? I'm trolling.
In Kamurocho, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Does
we're
Kiryu
going to
have
roll
a
this footage.
cameo?
If you know nothing about
So far, no.
Yakuza, if you know nothing about Yakuza and you saw footage of this game, you would go, okay, well, that's a Yakuza game.
Yeah.
Because it is very
I mean, I feel
Yakuza.
like I know something about Yakuza, and I'm still looking at it saying this
Well,
is
it's
a
gonna
Yakuza
look
game.
like fucking Yakuza. You run around Kamurocho, which is the city you've been in for.
Oh my
forever.
god, it literally...
Yeah, you're literally in Kamurocho.
Hey,
Uh,
Yakuza game?
Yeah, and you know you're getting into fights with street toughs, which
Yep.
doesn't really make sense because you don't really look like a Yakuza.
Nope.
In the other games, it's like you know you have Yakuza coming up to you like, "Hey, buddy, you strutting around like you're the shit." You know, I'm gonna fight you. But here
You're a detective.
you're a detective. So I don't know why everyone's picking fights with you, but it doesn't. I mean, it's because
He's a disgraced detective, though, right?
No, he's a disgraced lawyer
That's the setup. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Disgraced lawyer.
So-
who's become
so
a detective.
In Japan,
Have you seen it? The best part about this game is the first time he shows his little lawyer's badge, and I always
Yeah,
thought it was
it's
like going to
Phoenix
be a
Wright.
thing, but it's this tiny little. It looks like a fucking
It's that
button.
same one from Phoenix Wright.
But in Phoenix Wright, you never really saw it on him as much. I mean,
Yeah.
at one point you can see it interactive, and you can
Is
move
like
it
a little,
around.
like lapel thing?
Yes, but
Yeah.
it's like that. It's like the size of a quarter.
'Cause they're supposed to
I
wear
understand
it,
that, but still, like he tackles this guy and they fight, and he's like, you know what this is, buddy, and he has this tiny little thing. In
You
his
know what
hand.
this badge
And
means.
I really wanted the guy to be like, what is that? Is that
that is
that a
funny.
cookie?
So the setup for this game is you know like a handful of years ago he famously
He was a great lawyer.
a defense attorney who got off a
Best
a
lawyer in the
client
game.
Yeah.
who allegedly had murdered someone.
Yes.
And he was like he got them free, which is crazy in Japan because 99% of criminal trials end in conviction.
Convictions. Yeah.
99%.
99%. That's an actual like
Is
that's
that-
real Japan.
Yes.
Wait. The-
I mean, I don't know a lot of plea bargains. I don't know how it works,
Terrible-
but like it seems
terrible
absurd.
lawyers?
Why would you be a defense attorney?
Maybe they're really
Like-
bad at crime.
Like one of the best things is like he's like at the beginning of the game, they're like someone calls in, and everyone calling in is wanting this guy. I forget his name. What's his name?
I don't know.
I don't remember. They're
oh
like,
my god, guys, come on.
By the way, this is like the most famous actor in
his
Japan.
name
Yeah.
is Judgment.
Exactly.
that guy was totally just what?
His name is Judgment.
I don't know
yeah.
what he's doing.
Yagami.
he's doing the-
So someone calls in. And they're like, hey, I want Yagami. And they're like, oh, sorry, he's not available. Someone else calls in. They're like, hey, I want Yagami. Sorry, he's not available, but I can give you my number 2 guy. Well, no, he's never won a case.
Yeah.
But he's like the number 2. He's like their second best lawyer.
So
never won a case.
So the setup is that guy that he got off killed someone again.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, well, I'm disgraced. I got this guy off, and he was actually a murderer. I have no I'm no judge of like someone's innocence, you know, because he
has
presumed that they
bad-
were actually
Wow.
innocent.
Judgment.
Judge
The criminal justice system
So-
is very different.
So years later, he's no longer a practicing lawyer. He is a
Private eye.
private eye.
That beats up crooks in the street.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the point where they explain why he's such a good martial artist,
Yeah, neither have I.
but I think they do at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, is
Uh,
it just like an incidental to his character? Like, and he can fight.
No, I think they explain
Wait,
it
isn't
at
that the
some
way
point.
most
but
anime is?
I'm not very far.
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, again, he's not a yakuza, so I don't know why he's beating up street toughs. Or
Well, it's because they're starting to fight with him.
yeah, but I don't know why he's so good at it.
Because
He's better than
He's a
like
defense attorney.
Kiryu
He deals with
Kazuma.
it.
Yeah, he
like
is
the
better than
stuff he
Kazuma.
does in combat is insane.
Walcal in chat says they do tell you early on.
then I
Why
missed
he's
it.
good at
how
fighting.
early? I mean, I'm still really early. I just started playing this week, but you know, in the rest of the, game is like you're investigating a crime, a series of crimes. I mean, early on,
Well, yeah, so
you're representing you're helping this your old
law firm.
Your old law firm, and they're representing a Yakuza who's being accused of murder. But there's been a series of people who've been murdered, but they think it's him, and you're trying to
That was the number 2 guy right there.
collect evidence
That
and
guy?
stuff.
On the couch, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Never won a case. No, the guy,
The
the guy on
guy
the right,
standing there.
he runs the law firm.
Yeah, he runs the law firm. So you're trying to get this Yakuza guy
Yes, that's
off,
number
or
2.
you're trying to collect evidence to prove his innocence, because that's what you do.
So, and that is actually one of the cool parts about the game, is because it's not so much Yakuza games, the ones I've played, is Kiryu running around, maybe Majima or whatever, fighting dudes and then helping people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, someone needs help, you help them. This is you running around fighting dudes, but it's also you investigating shit.
Yeah.
So you're going around and you're having conversations with people and you're trying to get clues out of them. And you're literally like, oh, you chase a guy down an alley and you lost him, and now you gotta wait, which guy was it? Because there's a bunch of guys similarly dressed, and you gotta find which and you gotta like, oh, now I'm going into this alley and I'm like literally investigating, looking around. Okay, well, is there a camera around here that could have spotted the scene? Like, oh, there's one right there.
Is it one of those investigative games where it draws like too much attention to the point where it doesn't feel like you figured it out? You know what I mean?
No, I mean none of it's very deep, but there is a lot of little mechanics and
Yeah.
stuff like that, where you're like, looking at pictures or video footage and like selecting things. You're like picking locks, and you have a drone and you're trying to like see people in a building, and a lot of it's really scripted, and a lot of it's not all that deep, but it adds a cool vibe, right? You're so used to like these stories being
it's
all
a nice-
about
it's a nice
Yakuza
turn of
family
pace.
Yeah, you're so used to these stories being all about
Change
Yakuza
of pace.
family politics, and now it's something different, and that's kind of nice. Even though it still plays like a Yakuza game, it's still in a Yakuza world. The tone of the stories are very similar, where it's like very melodramatic, and people are going to be taking off their shirts by the end of it. But it's a weird vibe because, like, because like I met some like old flame who like works for like the DA or the equivalent, and like I go out into the alley to like, hey, chase her down, like talk to her, and like some big guy like says, hey, what are you doing messing with her? But instead of like Yakuza dude, it's like chief like justice or not chief justice, but like it's like the chief DA guy or whatever, who's like a big intimidating dude.
The DA?
So it's like it's funny because it's like they're like lawyers and shit, but it still feels like a Yakuza game. Yeah, it was like a bad. It kind of reminds me of like Phoenix Wright a little bit, but with a lot more machismo and stuff. It's stupid, but it's hilarious. And
Is there anything in this game that like indicates that it's like an actual like crossover with Yakuza? Like, is this?
It's
Well, I
the
mean,
same
you're interacting
world.
with the same it's the same area. You're interacting with the same gangs and stuff
But
like
they
that.
mentioned simple characters.
Tojo
and stuff?
Clan and
Yeah,
stuff.
the Tojo
I mean,
Clan,
I have not met any characters yet from that I'm familiar with from the Yakuza games, but you're interacting with the same like clans and stuff. There's just a lot of people in them. Mechanically, it's very similar, but I will say one of the new things I like about this is he seems like a lot more agile.
Oh, definitely.
And he
He's
can,
less like bumbling around and stuff than
and
Kiryu.
he has a move where he can like flip over enemies by running at them like automatically, so everything just kind of like flows a little better. Yakuza games have notoriously been like really clunky on combat. It's still a little clunky here and there, but like you're finally getting some stuff that kind of makes combat feel fun.
You know what one of the best things about this game is, Brad? No fucking stamina. You can just run around the world, and you never stop for a second to catch your breath.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
was one of the things that I hated the most in Yakuza games.
Is the like breadth and variety of like side stories and side activities?
Yeah, I mean, all that's still here, except there's no karaoke. I'm about to play an arcade game.
Yeah.
There's no karaoke for some reason. I think it might
Is
have
that a
something to
deal
do.
breaker?
Well, I mean, a lot of people really like that, but the strange thing is this dude used to be like, I think he's currently a musician, and he used to be in a really famous boy band.
Why he doesn't do karaoke?
So maybe he's like, fuck you, I'm not singing shit.
Yeah.
But apparently this actor's like a really big deal.
Or maybe they would have had to pay him
he's like
more
their
if
Tom
he was
Cruise
going
or
to do
whatever.
music.
Yeah. But like when
He's like
do
a
they
Will
have
Smith.
side stories that kind of like take a lighter tone, like in
Yeah, I'm not there yet because every Yakuza game you got to play a couple of chapters,
It's
and
a
then
while
it like
before the game
introduces
opens
you
up,
to like a
yeah.
submission, and then you can start doing them. But I've seen some stuff. Yeah, it gets pretty absurd. But yeah,
Are you
it's
playing?
pretty
Are you playing in
slow-paced.
Japanese, Brad?
No. I'm playing in English,
and it's actually pretty good English.
This is
voice
the first
acting.
English voice acted game since
And
the original.
they
Yakuza.
did not cheap out on it. Like,
Yeah, it's good.
It's good voice acting.
Yeah, it's good. And I like it a lot because it's easier for me to play when like Henry's around and stuff because I don't have to like
You don't have to stare at the
Stare
screen
at the TV the
constantly to
entire
make sure you
time.
don't miss something.
I could just kind of like listen, and it I'd say the story and stuff has been like really kind of like slow paced to start. It's all very methodical, and you're really running through the motions, and you feel like you're a real detective. Like, oh, I got to go back and talk to this guy. Like, oh, I got to go to the police station. Oh, I got to go back and talk to this guy. Everything is like very like slow paced, step by step. I don't know if that's gonna like change. I'll probably speed up, get more exciting later, but I don't mind it because it feels like I'm feeling that detective vibe, and that's cool. And I just like these games.
Is this an actual fighting game that you're playing?
Yeah, of course. Of
This
course.
looks so familiar.
Dude, that's one of the things with
Fighting Vipers.
Yakuza games is they always have like real
Arcade,
games
like
and
Sega games and shit.
that you
I
can
feel
play.
like we played this on like a themed night we did or something.
Not this one exactly.
I
but-
played like Fighters Mega Mix, which it was like a versus game that brought in Fighting Viper characters, and that's Fighting Vipers.
That is probably
and
why it looks
that's the
familiar.
same engine basically. That game was on Saturn. So. Yeah,
Should this be
it
my-
actually looked like a really nice remaster of that game. That was a Saturn game, but it was remastered for this game, and it's like, wow, this looks nice.
Should this be my first Yakuza game?
No, I mean, no, it's still Yakuza 0.
Yeah, Yakuza 0.
This is a
dude,
nice like little side mission, but like it does seem like slower. A nice side story, but it seems like a slower paced game than a Yakuza game. I mean, you're
Yakuza
still doing a
0
lot of
is
running
so
around,
good.
but like it's not like a lot of that like tailing and stuff that you do as a detective. It's really all that. Like,
Yeah, Nick, there is Assassin's Creed. Follow this guy. Don't lose sight. Don't let
Yeah.
him see you. But it is a
Wonderful.
lot better than Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
um,
We got better at that over the years.
Yeah, no, it did. But
it's just cool. I mean, I think you could play this. It is running in the Yakuza 6 engine, so that's really nice. But like, 0, I think is still the one.
dude, Zero's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Dude, playing as Majima is like some of the best shit.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And it's
Running the Hostess Club.
Yes, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I like it. I can't wait to play more.
Oh, yeah, I'm now that I'm kind of like I put the kibosh on Bloodstained. I'm gonna
Did you, though?
pick it back up. Yes. I'm not, dude. It's not one of those things where the only thing else I could do in Bloodstained is try and like 100% the whole game.
Yeah, you're at like
And
98 point something, right?
Well, no, that's map exploration. That is not,
There is
dude. Like
a lot
in
to
all
do.
honesty, I'm probably like 70, maybe 60% done with 100%ing like all of the creatures,
Gotcha.
all of their drops, all the shards, all the weapons, all the fucking crafting of food, and all like there's still missions I haven't finished in that game, side missions and stuff. So yeah, but I'm done with it for now, and I'm gonna pick this one back up.
Alrighty. Well, this looks pretty cool, I must say. Are we moving on?
Yeah.
I have a game I've been playing.
What you been playing, Nick?
I was going to talk about it last week. We obviously didn't do a show last week. And I'm a little bit farther this week than I was. I'm playing this at kind of a slower pace, but I'm playing Outer Wilds
Yeah.
still.
That game.
Since you guys talked about it, I decided to pick it up, and I'm slowly but surely unraveling that mystery. You know what I mean? Game is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's going places. How far have y'all?
I stopped playing it, because Bloodstained and other stuff has come
Same.
out. But I plan
It's
to.
always the toughest
I plan to
one.
get back to it. The thing is, it's not a game that I can really play when like stuff is going on around me. It's when I kind of need to sit down and like soak in.
I mean,
and I've not had that sort of opportunity. Even streaming, like I can't really even play this game on stream. It's just not that type of game.
I
need
streamed
to find
it the other day. My first, because I took a few weeks off from streaming basically,
You
and I
strum
came
it?
back and I played this. Maybe that was a mistake.
Well, I mean, hey,
I don't know.
you
Some
do
cool
you.
stuff happened. At least I got to. It wasn't the very beginning, so I was already kind of
Did you
delving into this crazy shit.
so you saw some cool stuff?
I've seen some
Did you,
some shit. Yeah.
You know, like in the very beginning of the loop when you wake up and you see that like
Yes.
thing blow up?
I
Did
did
you ever
that on-
fly up to it?
Yes,
Well,
and that's what I.
don't-
That's kind
be
of what I
careful
did.
what we
I
talk
know,
about here,
I-
because this is like everything in this.
I don't
want
want to get into too much detail, but yes, I did that on my stream last week, which I think is probably a saving grace for that stream. Otherwise, I think it may have been kind of boring, because that is one of the more interesting things to kind of explore and kind of figure out. That is probably the best example I've seen so far of like self-discovery, of just kind of like
Oh yeah.
putting pieces, like the first time I started like putting pieces together and being like, oh, because I've been hearing, y'all talked about it and y'all kind of sold me on it, and I tried to pick it up and play it. And then after that, I started to see a lot of people talking about it. Like Jason Schreier's like fucking like in love with this game, and I've been seeing him tweet about it a
And
lot.
Kirk Hamilton, you listen to their podcast? They talked a lot about it.
Do they go into much spoiler territory with it, or
No. Just
'Cause
effusive love.
it's taking a while to get to that point? Like first of all, I'm fascinated with the game itself, the concept, and how it doesn't hold your hand, and how it just throws you into this like pretty big solar system and has you discover shit on your own. I love that shit. I think it's great. I think even like the story that you eventually kind of stumble upon on what you're trying to figure out is really interesting. But I literally crashed. So this was weird. I thought I was about to crash into a planet, which, by the way, on my stream last week, I was speeding up towards a planet and I couldn't slow down fast enough, and I literally
Fell into the sun.
No, I just crashed into a moon, like just like I couldn't slow down, I couldn't turn fast enough, and it was just in my trajectory, and I just fucking slammed into it, broke almost everything on my ship, and I was like, I can fix this, and I jump out, and as I jump out, the thing just fucking explodes and kills me. But I'm just kind of starting to get the feel for like why, like it's taken about 8 hours, but I've finally gotten to that point where it's like, oh, I'm starting to feel that real itch of like exploration and discovery, because some crazy shit is starting to happen in this game, and the fact that it kind of it forces the player to figure it all out themselves. Like it doesn't tell you anything. Really.
It's kind of amazing how much it doesn't hold your hand.
I did that planet that you had
really
showed
respects the
footage
player.
of the other day, or the first time we talked about it. You had shown footage of the I think it's called Deep something, the planet covered in water.
Yeah.
Oh, that place is
Dude.
crazy.
That shit's weird. When I finally realized how to use some of the things on there. Like it became kind of this big puzzle. And I'll tell you what though, like one of my favorite things about this game is because a lot of people when they first started watching me play this, they didn't realize that a bit part of it was the time loop thing.
Yeah.
So like when you
Everything's
start
on a
to when you're
schedule.
running, when you actually survive long enough to get to the end of the time loop, and you start to realize shit's like the sun's about to explode. Like I've been in some cool situations. Like I was on a planet that was like closest to the sun
Yeah.
when it started to happen, and then I noticed a thing. I can't remember exactly the sequence of events, but I saw this
Be
thing.
careful.
I know. Let's just say, black holes. Can I say black holes? Fast.
Yeah.
It's like a fast travel point. I went to a fast travel point.
I told a story about a black hole last time we talked about this game.
It's so fucking cool. And just like putting yourself in these cool positions to kind of like witness the sun
Just
explode
like things happen.
is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of wonderful. It was shocked me how like I was intimidated when I first started playing this
I'm
game.
still
Once I
intimidated.
realized the scope of it, and that's sort of what scared me off. Like kind of just playing it casually. Like I really want to, I need like a time where like my wife and like Henry like go out of town or something, and I really
just,
sink my
like,
teeth into this. Yeah.
Like I'm still intimidated by it because like I've played it for about 8 to 10 hours so far, and I still haven't reached that point where I feel confident and that I know what I'm doing to like actually move forward and progress and get to the end. Like they have this chart on your ship, and as you discover things and you find clues, it
like
automatically
rumors
updates
and
it. Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Like that thing just keeps getting bigger and it just keeps adding more question marks to it, and I'm not like revealing anything. I'm just finding more questions.
More questions than answers.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
But it just keeps getting overwhelming, and I haven't had that moment where it's like, okay, now I kind of know what I need to do to actually move towards like an ending. Like I'm just finding shit right now.
The only thing I wish there was like voice acting and audio logs.
Dude, this is a game that needs it. It's like they don't even do like even if it was something as simple as like the Charlie Brown voices,
Yeah.
like, that would be helpful. Like it
Yeah.
is silence when
Yeah.
you're reading text, and that's kind of a bummer. But on the other hand, like sound design is really great, and the fucking music. I listen to the sound. This has become one of the soundtracks that I listen to on almost a daily basis.
Really?
At work. It's so good.
I'll have to look into it then.
I'm so anti audio logs, but this is the perfect game for audio logs. Damn it!
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And it's cool because it never stops to it never pulls you out of the action with anything really. You're always in control.
The world is so reactive too.
Yeah.
It's everything's moving and changing that whole 22-minute cycle. So while you're out there exploring, it's all shifting around you and opening up new pathways, closing other pathways, and you kind of just stumble into the craziest shit.
Yeah. And there's times where I'm some of the times that I go to I see an opening to go explore something, and then I was I'm gonna go for it, and I go into it, and I realize that I waited a little too long to get there, and then I trapped myself in a situation where well, I'm about to die. Okay, but then it's as soon as I wake up, you have that moment, and you're oh, it's starting over, and it's boom, straight to the ship. I'm going right back there now because if I wait too long, I'm gonna miss my chance. That's
kind of just
so
wish
cool.
you had a gun with a single bullet. In this game.
Yes, that might be helpful. It's also cool too, that when you're on your planet, when you start out and you go to that little museum they set up.
Yeah.
There's little things they've set up.
God.
That might be the one I was thinking of. Yeah, you're going really fast in this game, and you don't realize how fast you're going until you have to slow down. It's bad.
The flight is all very momentum based. It's all gravity and momentum.
Oh my god! But accidentally overshooting a planet and then trying to slow down is the worst.
As you're just hurtling out into the void,
and you can when you lock onto a planet, you can see the meters or the miles from the planet, whatever, and you just see it the number keep getting bigger, even though you're trying to push back in the direction towards it. You're stop getting bigger, stop it.
I just feel if this game had voice acting,
It would make
many more people would be playing this.
Yeah, it'd be a game changer.
It'd be so much more accessible.
But it is a very rare feeling of
it's
exploration.
delightful.
And I hope you guys get back to it.
I love that little probe you can shoot that just takes snapshots.
Yeah,
that comes into play. I think.
Yeah, it does. And I the ways that when you're trying to figure something out, should I go in there or can I go in there or maybe I shouldn't go in there? You're I'll just use the camera. And it didn't really tell you this, I don't think, but I didn't realize you could just continuously take snapshots and stuff, and you can pivot it.
It's how real satellites work. They're just
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. There's so many little moments of discovery in this game. It's pretty,
I'll definitely get back to it for sure.
It's pretty fucking cool.
I've noticed that my trend for this
I guess
year
I should say.
is I'm starting games and I'm going, oh my god, this is amazing. Oh my god, this is amazing. I'm gonna put this down. There's some other stuff coming out. I'm gonna play that, and then I discover
look at that landing.
I discover something else, and I'm oh my god, this is amazing. Oh my god, this is amazing. I gotta stop playing this.
Dude, and people have been
textbook,
bitching lately
bud.
about games getting delayed. Fuck off. There's so many good games.
Yeah,
I have
there
nothing.
is.
I have no time to play all of the amazing games that are
I know
out.
I said earlier that I feel this year is kind of a slump, but it's really just the games that are coming out in this general window of time are just maybe not for me. But there's definitely a lot of cool
There's
shit
so
coming out.
many games. out right
But
now.
real quick, just one thing I forgot to mention, and this footage reminded me, is when I first started this game, it was hard to fly that thing, and especially it was hard to land that thing, and the fact that they never pull control away from you, you are in control. You have to control your speed.
You have to get used to that whole slingshot style.
Yeah, but when you get it, and that landing I just made, I remember when I was recording this, I was
good.
oh shit, I nailed that. That
Textbook, bud.
that was cool.
Gigamir in chat brings up a good point. We usually do our best of the year so far, a top 5.
I guess we are halfway through the year.
We could do that.
I sort of pitched that
anytime
idea-
we
We're
want.
halfway through July.
Fuck.
We could fucking do that next week if we wanted.
Yeah.
What are we gonna have new to talk about next week?
Are we?
Right? Is there any
there's-
new releases this week?
Yes.
Fuck.
We are.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say we'll probably do that. But
Maybe.
man, talking about this game right now makes me more excited to play it.
Yeah.
than
Me
it
too.
was.
Just seeing this, I'm this is such a striking looking game.
But seriously, fucking if you
I,
haven't,
I love all the tech. It reminds me of a Brendan Chung game.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
but seriously, if you haven't heard the soundtrack, this is this might be up there,
I've not. Is it on Spotify?
it probably is. I just got a
Probably
new
listen
phone
to
and I
my
ended up
gaming
getting
soundtracks.
Apple Music free with my my new contract. So I
Wait,
was
you got
just-
another new phone?
No, this is the same one I got a few
Oh, okay,
weeks
gotcha.
ago. But my new contract came with unlimited data and Apple Music. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just search for shit and find it. And I
Outer
found this.
Wilds
And
original soundtrack.
it's so good.
Found it.
Like I could see it being up there with like FTL as like some of the best like space.
I'm gonna listen. It's on
soundtrack.
Spotify.
It's dope. I'll play it. I'll play it.
Give me
sample of it from
in
you
the
in a
mood.
second. But anyways, that's all I have to say about this. I think we can probably. That's it. Is there any other small things we want to mention? Anything else y'all been playing?
I mean, I started playing Dr. Mario on my phone.
Yes, I heard.
It just came out for anybody out there who the game that came out a while back.
Is it like classic Dr. Mario?
There's a spin on it. That original they had that Mario Run game or whatever, which was kind of whatever. It was fun. This is pretty good. I mean, it's definitely the puzzle lineup 3, but they throw some twists and turns in there, and there's like a versus mode and stuff. I don't know. I'm not gonna like capture footage or anything like that, but so far, I mean, it's fun enough.
Cool.
I don't often play games on my phone, honestly, and so it's nice for I'm finally playing one.
Anything else? Anybody? I played through. I'm not going to talk about these at length because I've talked about them. Y'all know how I feel about them, but I played Alan Wake again. I hadn't really played that again since it first came out. Dabbled a little bit, and I played the American Nightmare, but this is the first time I played Alan Wake proper in a while. Played that all the way through. Game's great. But I'm playing.
What's another game you're replaying, Nick?
The Last of Us. I finally popped in The Last of Us Remastered. It's only my second time playing that game.
You know how many times I've beaten that game, Nick?
Many times.
At least 6.
I know. The thing is, like, I just don't play. I don't replay games a lot, and that's one thing I'm definitely trying to do more of this year. In fact, I've replayed more old games, or played. I've either replayed old games or played games that didn't come out this year more so than 2019 games this year. But holy shit,
that game is so.
I didn't there's a lot that I remember about it. And there's also a lot of details that I don't remember about it. So.
How far are you in the game?
I just finished Winter last night, so I only have one more. I'm approaching the end. That game is so fucking good. Although there are moments where I feel like it showed its where it wasn't quite as perfect as everything else around it. I mean, the part in Winter where you jump on the back of the horse and you're riding through town. Yeah, you cannot deviate. Like you have like
there's a path you're going down.
Even give you control of the horse? Like you can't really do shit. So the little parts like that where I feel like the flaws kind of poke through. But other than that, like that game is fucking phenomenal. And it's getting me real excited about. I haven't rewatched any of the footage for Last of Us Part 2 since we saw it initially. So as soon as I finish this game, I'm going to rewatch that footage. And
cool.
Hopefully get excited for it. 'Cause it's pretty damn good. But Crispy? You had something you wanted to say? No?
No.
Just pointing? Just pointing?
Just pointing, bud.
Rocket League?
No.
Look at this fucking troll over here.
I know what Brad thinks of me.
I think Rocket League's a pretty great game.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I started playing Dishonored again.
Oh yes, Dishonored 2.
But I mean I'm only in like the 3rd chapter, so not much to report. I will say though that like Emily's suite of powers, like the different outsider abilities that she gets, are like really cool.
Yes, they're
like
fucking awesome.
I think they are like a great improvement over the set of powers you get from the first game.
Absolutely. You should stick with it. I thought that was one of those games that I thought was very strange because we all kind of loved Dishonored. Like I think we were all pretty unanimously like obsessed with Dishonored 1, and then Dishonored 2 came out, and
I think it also.
I'm sure Chris Davis.
I played a handful of levels. Look, it's just one of those things that game requires intense focus, and that came out at a time in my life where intense focus was
not on the menu.
Not on the menu.
Yeah. Understandable, but I would stick with it because that game's pretty fucking great. Anyways, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do news. We'll talk about the Nintendo Switch Lite, which is now a thing. We'll answer some questions from supporters on Patreon. We'll do a supporter spotlight, which I believe this month is this week is Overlord Ball. I believe his name is Alex, if that's easier to say. So yeah, we'll do all that when we come back. So if you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. welcome back to 4Player Podcasts. Are you ready for some fucking news?
No.
No?
No.
Where's all the enthusiasm? Where's
The
the
news
excitement?
is
Fuck
bad.
the news.
I mean, I don't know.
Viewer questions.
Nick?
Go.
Nick,
What?
give us the bad news first.
Nintendo has announced the Nintendo Switch Lite.
Why is that bad?
I don't
news,
know. I
Nick?
thought you would make... I don't know. I honestly didn't know where you would fall on this, Brad.
I
thought-
mean, it's
I was-
not okay.
It's
Here-
not for us, but
No, yeah.
True.
I don't.
True.
I think it's stupid.
There it is.
I
Okay.
think it maybe should be a little bit cheaper.
It's $199, right?
It's
Yes.
$199. Its Switch has no TV out.
Correct.
It is a handheld only
Correct.
Switch where they removed
Joy-Cons aren't
the Joy-Cons. Yeah, they're
undockable,
attached.
so there's no rumble to them.
There's no rumble. There's no motion control. There's no IR. Like all that stuff that they touted at the
As being
release of the
amazing.
Switch as being
Yeah.
amazing. Which
It's just a handheld
we knew
now.
was all horse shit.
It
That
is
nothing was really getting used.
It is a DS without the S. It is an
You know
S.
what's weird though is like they removed all this functionality and all these features from the Nintendo Switch proper, and what you end up with is a handheld system without any kind of gimmick. And when was the last time Nintendo had a handheld system without a gimmick? Right?
The 2DS when they removed
2DS.
the gimmick
Yeah.
from
the thing.
from the
I know.
thing.
So it kind of makes the whole thing feel a little less special.
Well,
But I mean, it is like
honestly-
Crispy said, it is not for us.
yeah, but
Honestly,
even the
I-
2DS still had two screens.
it was a 2DS was also $100. It was for children.
Well, Brad,
Who's
I
this
think
for?
I think they are trying to hit the lower market. All the people who haven't already bought a Switch, or
But $200 is not a lower market.
it
Yeah,
is
it's $100 less.
$100 less, Brad. Not everyone
That's-
has.
It's $100 less,
to
but
throw
it is
around.
still like the price of a premium handheld, not the cheaper handheld.
What's the cheaper handheld?
Well, I don't think they were
But-
ever
but-
going to get to that price point for a Switch
Why not?
because it is more expensive hardware to make. It is
Relative
bigger
to the
and sturdier.
time. Relative to the time.
Brad, I'm sure in 2 years we will see a cheaper Switch.
I mean, a baseline home console's like $400.
Yes.
But the
Half of that for a handheld.
I mean the Switch
console.
is not. I mean, okay, so what makes the Switch a home console?
I didn't
that
say
very
the Switch
expensive
was.
dock-
I was saying that like PS4s and Xboxes are $400.
What I'm saying is they removed a lot of functionality, and they were also removed a $90 dock. You know, and
I don't think they were even taking the price of the dock into
No, they
consideration here.
so like a lot of the thing about the Switch is, you know, the fact that it connects to a TV, the fact that you can play multiplayer on the go because the Joy-Cons become separate controllers. All that stuff is gone. It's just a handheld with no 3D, only one screen. You know, I mean, I'm not saying it should have been $100, but maybe like 180, maybe even 150 for this thing. I feel like a lot of functionality's gone. You know, maybe if the battery life was like twice as fucking long, but it's not.
I think
it's a little bit longer.
I think it still comes down to they still have to like it's still early enough in the system's life cycle that like it is not super cheap to make. Like I feel like 2 years down the road, like Nolan said, if they release a new model
I'm
Switch,
sure-
they can
I'm sure,
they can
yeah.
afford they can still make a profit on it by producing it and then selling it at $150. But I think it's too early to be selling what they like. The amount of technology they've packed into a fairly small package is still costly enough to produce that they couldn't justify giving it away at $150. I mean, that would be they would be. I feel like they'd be taking a loss on every system if they did that.
I mean,
I
maybe,
mean,
who knows?
That,
but
that is me saying that with absolutely no numbers in
I would
front of
not
me.
be surprised if these things do just like
No, I think they're gonna.
drop in price.
Well, first of all, I think they're gonna sell great.
You think?
Yes, I think they're gonna sell.
how
like
is this not
gangbusters.
dockable?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, why did they make this without the ability to be docked?
Because they took out the Joy-Cons, and why would you put the controller back, or you would plug the controller into the dock, and then you wouldn't have a controller
Brad,
to use.
it's one
So-
way they made it cheaper. By
Yeah, it's
taking out
probably-
the chip in there that has to talk from the processor of the Switch has to talk to this chip, which outputs the data to the
everything
thing.
has a but how much could that chip possibly cost? I mean, that's like major functionality that's gone now.
Sure,
Yes,
Like,
I'm not saying it's not the case.
it's also. I think it also makes it a.
so you
easier
buy a Pro Controller, you buy Joy-Cons. They even show you in the video that like, hey, if you want to play some games, you got to buy Joy-Cons.
Correct.
So like,
I think it's also an easier sell for parents buying for kids.
Also, you know
Of
what I think is
course.
going to happen? People with already one Switch in their house are probably going to buy this as a second one.
but that's crazy because your Switch is your second one.
No, it's not.
Like I'm saying, like I'm not gonna
My two kids can't play Switch at the same time.
You have
okay,
two kids?
Okay,
They have to share.
a different person, sure.
Well,
I see what you mean. But I'm saying like a person that already has a Switch, that's just a person, has no reason to own this thing.
I'm not saying somebody who's a person who lives by themselves is going to buy another one.
But there are plenty of those out
I'm
there.
saying there are millions of people out there that are in multifamily households who probably would think, maybe I'll buy a second Switch for my kids this Christmas. And now they can have two and play with them, and they can play with them at the same time.
With a lot of like Nintendo like iterative like releases and stuff, like, you know, the DS Lite, there's a lot of like maybe reason why someone would pick up like a new, like the 3DS XL or the DS Lite.
That is not what this is.
Or the GBA SP.
And this is not the next version of the Switch. That is, in my opinion, that is not what this is. This is not going from the DS to the 3DS to the 3DS XL. That's new 3DS. That is not what this is.
I know. And there's going to be, this is like the 2DS, basically, right?
Yes.
Like they stripped out functionality to make it cheaper, to make it for kids. That's why I'm like...
And you know what? The 2DS sold pretty good.
I know, but like that thing launched at $100 and was often being on sale for $80.
I think it was $130 when it launched.
I thought it was $99. Often, I saw that thing for $80 a lot.
You also gotta take. I mean, I don't know exactly how this works into the discussions about what they're gonna charge for this thing, but like you gotta look at it this way. Like if they sold this thing for $100, or
it was $130 at launch.
If they sold this thing for $100 or $150, you also got to think about the software they're selling for this thing. Switch games are still full price, $60. You think they're going to sell a $150 console and then sell games for that thing for $60? The fact that the games cost full price implies that this is a competitor with something like PlayStation 4 or Xbox One.
It's not even that I think the price isn't like the Switch is not worth that price, but like just get a regular Switch. It's so much.
But most people are still going to do that.
You know, like you look at a PS4 versus a PS4 Pro, and like you're spending like so much more money for like honestly an improvement that isn't that much, right? But like this, like a regular Switch versus this thing is like so much functionality.
Because it's more
October 2013, the 2DS launched at $130. In August of 2015, a year and a half later, it dropped to $100. That's a year and a half.
Can we talk about the other thing, the other part of this? That
What's
I
up,
think,
Nick?
I think it's maybe the bigger deal here.
What's up?
They put a fucking D-pad on this thing, and then said they're not going to release Joy-Cons with D-pads.
Correct.
What? That's kind of a slap in the face, right?
On that one.
They did.
Yeah, no, it's
that's a real fucking.
It is really stupid.
Like I saw this and I was like, oh. That obviously means that when they start selling, like as soon as this thing is out, like new Joy-Cons,
those new Joy-Cons are going to come out with the next version of the Switch.
They're fucking taunting us now, bud.
That's some bullshit.
Nick.
Don't talk about the prices of 3DS stuff. I still think that stuff is way overpriced.
What if I bought a Switch Lite and then sawed the Joy-Cons off?
I don't know if you could do that.
I saw someone do that to a Wii U pad.
Did it work?
No.
I mean, you can buy a Hori Joy-Con with a D-pad.
Yeah,
I know.
Playing
Hey,
on the go. I have one.
Give us some more bad news.
All right. Let's see. Bad news. Not a whole lot of bad news.
Give us
this
the
week.
bad news, Nick.
What's the other one? Well, these are all kind of good.
Bad news, Nick.
Oh, just real quick. There are some games that
the Shenmue 3 thing.
Look like and run like absolute shit in handheld mode, like Xenoblade 2. Like, don't play that game in handheld mode, which means if you're gonna buy a Switch Lite, don't buy that game.
True.
Gotcha.
Like, don't buy a Switch Lite. Just get a Switch.
But
if it had like twice the battery life,
most people who let me tell you this. I think if someone was interested in playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, they would that category of person who was interested in playing that game would already be buying a proper Switch proper.
I mean, that's not exactly how it works.
I mean,
think anybody should have.
I'm obviously pigeonholing some people here. I'm just saying that is kind of.
Don't hold my pigeon.
I feel like that's kind of what's going to happen.
All right.
Anyways.
Shenmue 3.
Shenmue 3, Brad. Tell us about this. I'm assuming you put this on the dock.
Oh, well, just the ongoing like clusterfuck is like crazy.
I literally wasn't sure what this news topic was about, so I just copied and pasted what you put in there as the news title.
We haven't had a regular podcast in a while, so we haven't really discussed this. But so there was the whole thing where they made a deal with the Epic Game Store to release on that and not Steam, even though the Kickstarter promised like Steam codes. And like they also said EastNet, like the developer, said they're not gonna offer refunds for people who wanted Steam codes. Like, listen, you're gonna get an Epic Game Store code now. And like people were like, what the fuck is this shit? Later, Epic said, you know what? We're gonna foot the bill on the refunds. Like, not even the company making Shenmue
Epic
3,
just stepped up and
Epic, who
said-
made this deal, said, you know what? If you want a refund, we're gonna pay for it. Which is crazy because it's like, well,
they're just giving money for them to run over to Steam with.
yeah, but like EastNet also got a bunch of money by making this deal with Epic, so technically they did have some money to offer refunds, which is crazy.
Right.
And now there's like the most recent, so you have Epic not only making deals but actually just throwing out more cash for like going beyond. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like
Just
obviously they're trying to look better.
Just because they're like kind of embarrassed by association.
Yeah, but they're just giving away money now at all these pissed off people who still. It was just a year of exclusivity, but obviously anybody who kickstarted Shenmue wants to play the game right away. Obviously, I think someone who cared enough to kickstart Shenmue is probably not going to be so upset that they wouldn't just play it on Epic Game
definitely
Store.
would.
You know, they just want to play the game on their PC, right? Theoretically, but people seem really upset about Epic Game Store. I think the most recent issue or complaint that people are having is there is a version like of this game, like with like a season pass that they're selling that that
about this.
no Kickstarter backers get. So it's like it doesn't matter how much you like back Shenmue 3 for, you're still gonna have to like pay like for this other version if you want that extra stuff like the season pass. Like it doesn't matter if you backed it for like $1,000, you still don't get the
still
season
have to pay
pass,
for the season
which people
pass.
are like,
Wow.
well, what the fuck is this shit? So
That is shitty.
This continues to be a disaster.
Wow.
yeah, like
More
that
like shit,
and
man.
like reports coming out of E3, people were saying like the game looks like absolute garbage. So
Well, that's a fact.
Nice.
I don't know.
This is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It just seems
Can
crazy.
I talk about something
Those
else?
guys.
I think people are still too mad at Epic,
I
but
didn't
you
add
know,
to
what
the
are you
doc.
gonna do?
My apologies.
Sure, Nolan.
Because it's not something that happened this week.
Okay,
Happened like 2 weeks ago. But
fair enough.
had
We haven't done a normal
podcast.
show in 2 weeks.
Is it good news or bad news?
Yes.
Is it bad news?
For some people.
Because we're still in bad news right now, and then we'll jump to good news.
Actually, I think that was it for bad news. Although,
Well, it depends on if he has bad news.
Nolan, what
Well,
is
so,
the topic?
So it's about a game I don't play.
So it's
I've played it once.
bad news.
No.
Good news?
But I wish I had been playing this game when this happened.
Bad news bears.
Yes. Did y'all hear about EVE Online?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That was some crazy
Wait,
shit.
what happened in
So EVE Online, everyone
Fill
knows
us
EVE
in.
Online.
Oh, is
There's a
this-
big ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, people
Is
go
this
around.
another one of those EVE Online stories?
Sure. The people go around. They buy and sell goods, real world money. You know, people play this game a lot. So what happened was, out of nowhere, there's an alien race in the game that kind of always just kind of been there. Nothing really. It's an NPC. You know,
Yeah.
whatever. They're just there. 2 weeks ago, they randomly started grouping together and attacking people en masse out of fucking nowhere. They just randomly started attacking
Crispy's
people
eyes
like
just lit up
crazy.
like,
So people will be transporting goods, and in the past, like, oh, if you leave them alone or whatever, they'll just like do their own thing. But now they just started mass attacking people.
No, it's bigger than that.
I know it's bigger. It is a lot bigger than that. And when it first started, you know, whatever people would jettison, they'd fly off on their escape pods, get away. But then not too long after, they started shooting down escape pods.
what the fuck?
And just like,
Is it learning?
It kind of. Chris Davis, I'm sure,
So there's-
knows more.
So there was
The
an
Drifters.
expansion that came out recently called Invasion,
Mhm.
and this is the developers CCP, I think. This is them paying off on that name.
Yeah.
So there's this alien AI faction in the game that has decided to spawn thousands upon thousands upon thousands of their ships, and they are attacking every
Everybody.
single player port, every
Everybody.
single player, everything in the universe of Eve is under attack.
Yes.
This game has been a thing for a
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
a long
right?
time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
going on.
So everything was like
Yeah.
business as usual
Yes.
until suddenly it wasn't.
This is an Icelandic made game or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Like I believe CCP is like a big portion of like their economy or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, it is. Yeah, but it's
Like-
one of those things where like people like, oh, this one guy got shot down and he had like $200 of real world money of goods on his ship, all gone.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't put that. Oh
Yes,
no!
because people
Yeah, like,
make
people take
Because
very
people who
seriously.
play this game.
Yeah,
play
there's
this game.
people who like will spend years spying
There's
for
like a
another
whole-
company. They'll spend years going up the rank in another like corporation just to like send back secrets to their actual company.
That's what I thought this was gonna be. Another
Yeah.
one of those, because there's
No.
always stories about like someone in this corporation like betrayed them and launched an
Oh.
attack, and like millions of dollars worth of capital ships were
Yeah.
destroyed.
Also, it was an
like,
Icelandic government official in real life, and
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
who got like busted on
Yeah.
corruption in the game
Yeah.
and like lost his real life.
But yeah, it's
job.
just it's just
Like-
Wait, that really happened?
all kinds of shit.
That's
no,
fascinating.
he was like on their like player led senate. Like there's like a committee.
dude. This game is insane.
There's a committee of players that like help the developers like maintain law and order like in the fucking
Yeah.
world.
You're
and like
talking,
this
I'm
dude,
picturing the Senate in Star
this
Wars.
dude was like, I don't remember what it was. It was
I
something
am
like,
the Senate.
It was something like he was using like government funds to play the game, and then like
Eve has a lot of
busted
fans
on it,
only from the stories that come out of Eve.
Yes.
yeah.
A lot of people don't actually want to play
Correct.
Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
every once in a while, something
It's a
crazy
really old
happens.
MMO.
But yeah,
And
this is just one of
everyone
those
writes an
things where like my assumption is that the developers saw the status quo. They saw that what the world had become. Just throw a fucking wrench in it.
Yeah,
It's like-
and they're not commenting
they're
on
like-
any
Yeah,
of
that's
what's
the
happening.
best part. They haven't fucking said anything. It just happened.
Just
one day.
silence.
Yeah.
That's kind of beautiful.
And there's multiple phases to this invasion too. Like coming up very soon, and they've given like forewarning
They've
that
given
this is going to
hints.
happen.
Yeah.
Is that there is a set communication system in the game that identifies player ships and things like that, and notifies
friend or
you when
foe.
people enter systems and things like that. Well, starting like at a certain date very soon, the enemy AI is going to quote unquote disable that chat functionality. So you won't be able to
So
tell
you'd be cut off?
human player from AI player unless you're like directly communicating with them.
Wow,
Dude,
that is
yeah.
some
Chaos.
brutal.
Dude, yeah, this world
That's
has
brutal.
just gotten turned upside down.
I love it.
Yeah. That's what I'm
I
saying.
kind of
like,
want to play Eve.
No, well, that's the thing. I kind of do, but then I remember when I did start it in back in 2009. I played Eve for all of like 10 hours, and I'm like, I'm not going.
I want to
back
go play
that.
Eve
That's-
and then spend like $20 just so I can feel the
Nick,
the
you
hurt
don't.
when it's gone.
Yeah, that's
You don't.
You should
That
need to
is
read
not
some
a game,
stories
yeah.
or some books, which have been
No,
written.
there's a guy, I forget his name. He's writing a series of the history of EVE Online.
Yes.
Talking all about the various player led wars.
Yes.
It's like available in hardback for like $40.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
I learn new things every day.
This game is a world in its own.
This is fantastic.
Nick, you really should read up on like some of the wars. Like when these like massive battles happen on servers, CCP purposefully slows down the time on the servers to where it's like a second in-game time happens like over the course of 10 minutes. Because so many players are fighting at the exact same time, firing weapons, damaging enemies, things like that. They have to slow it down because
pretty-
it's chaos.
This is pretty crazy for a game that I feel like I've never even seen a screenshot of before. Interesting.
It's
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was pretty cool.
Thank you from that report from the war front.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Nolan. All right, back to other news.
Good news?
Tell me how you would feel about a show on Netflix about Cuphead.
Yeah,
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Cuphead's
Interesting,
getting a
though,
show.
right?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like how it takes them so
who's,
long
like,
just to create like a handful of levels in this game. There's still like a DLC that they've been working on that's coming.
I mean, I'm
out.
assuming this isn't in development from the same people working on the game. It's probably
Sure,
you
but
know.
I'm saying if the show's gonna have the look of the game, how much like work has to go into it for it to look really good?
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. Like the look of the game is based off of like the way those kinds of cartoons looked in the past. So I feel like it would be easier to translate that to a show these days. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
Dude,
not.
hand drawn. I mean, most cartoons aren't hand drawn.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Venture Brothers is hand drawn, and it takes them like 2 years. to do
Yeah,
a
it takes them a
season.
while.
Like,
Interesting.
It is.
They keep picking
interesting.
in my opinion, they keep picking the strangest shows to adapt to television. But
the strangest shows.
I mean, the strangest
Strangest
games.
you know what? So
Like
what's
I mean,
Castlevania?
yeah, like Castlevania, I thought was a really strange choice. It working out. Twisted Metal seems like a really strange choice. We had a conversation about that. That could turn out really good. Good, who knows? But
What's,
it seems like a really odd choice. And I think
Witcher.
Cuphead is another one.
So I was reading this thing about Netflix and like their internal practices and like how they select like what shows they're going to greenlight, what they're going to keep running, what they're going to cancel, and this article was saying that like there has been a shift in the company's perspective lately, in that they no longer are interested in running old show. Like they're no longer like basically anything that they are producing, they are not really interested in going past like 2 seasons with.
Yeah.
Because they can't generate new viewership off of like a show that's in its third season. Because at that point, people aren't that excited about like starting new subscriptions to watch the show because they feel like they've fallen behind and it's too much to catch up. And at that point, you've also got like showrunners and above the line people working on the show who are like, hey, we've given you 2 successful seasons and we're going to start a 3rd one, so you got to pay us more money.
That's
so like
sad.
any of these shows that you're like really excited about, like I would not expect to see them go more than like 2 seasons.
That's so strange. I mean, I guess
they're doing a real just like fucking shock.
If they're gonna, I mean, that first of all, if that becomes the prerogative, that should be fine. But that means they should plan for that from the beginning. Like they should be.
You would hope that
they should know that they're gonna do 2 seasons. Tell a story that takes 2 seasons.
Yeah,
sure.
That's fine. The other thing I forgot to put on the doc, and this is kind of related, but like we haven't talked about the new shots of The Witcher, which came out last week, which, in my opinion at least, I think is looking way better than it did the first time we saw it.
A shot's a shot, but
see the thing like to keep in mind too is that like Netflix originals aren't made by like Netflix. The company.
Yeah, correct. I know.
They're licensing other companies to produce their shows for them who have different wants. Like when I watched that's working, like when ABC gets a contract to do fucking. Well, I mean, this is a bad example because they're starting their own.
They are
streaming service, but like traditionally, when a production company gets a license to do a show for a distributor like Netflix, they want it to go as long as possible.
Correct.
You know, so they're like negotiating how long they can go. That's why a lot of these shows like kind of are written as if they're going to keep going, and then Netflix comes in and says, "Nope, we're done."
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That kind of also goes hand like that's I watched Peaky Blinders and I didn't find out until like the 2nd season because it always says Netflix original, and then I was like, wait, this is on BBC?
No, they're just like
what the fuck?
Yeah, North American distribution.
It's so weird, but they still label it an original.
Speaking of Strange and Netflix, I started like rewatching Stranger Things just while I do stuff around the house.
I haven't started the 3rd season yet.
I'm not sitting down and watching it. But do you remember Benny from season 1? He was like the chef that found 11 or whatever.
Yes.
Do you know what else he's been in?
No.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Was he Taserface?
He was Taserface.
He was, wasn't he?
And I was like, man, I did not realize that was Benny. Because the other thing, I know him from, I'm sure no one in the world has watched it, but The Nick, because it was on Showtime. With what's it? You've seen The Nick?
No.
It's
my name.
Knick. It's about a hospital in New York in like 1904 or something like that, or 18.
Stunned Panda in chat says The Nick is fucking dope.
There you go, Stunned Panda.
Hell yes, I am.
What's his? Clive Owen is the star of that. But anyway, cool. Benny / Taserface has actually a pretty good role in that show. Anyway, yeah. If no one's seen The Nick, try to watch it. I don't know how you can.
I don't know how, but
I mean,
try?
like no one out there has a subscription to Showtime.
Definitely don't steal it.
Well, I mean, it's a good show. I think it's worth giving money to. Don't be wrong; it's already done, so it's not like they're making more of it. I think it's 3 seasons, and then that's it. But very good show.
Don't Google proxy list for Pirate Bay online.
It sounds like nobody else wants to. Oh my god! It sounds like nobody else wants to talk about this. But does anyone have any thoughts on the new stuff from The Witcher?
You know, speaking of pirating shows,
I guess not.
So like my wife's sick, and so is Henry, and I abandoned her this evening, and I was like, hey, listen, I know it sucks, I know you're sick, I know you have to deal with Henry, like I'll buy you dinner and I'll download a fucking show or whatever. And she's like, in the show she's like, all right, download me the latest season of, or the latest episode of Braxton Family Values.
Jesus
right? She likes to watch
what the fuck?
Trashy shows, right? And I was like, okay. And I'm like, there is one person seeding this. This could take a while. It's like, you don't like popular shows.
There's one person out there that's like, this needs to live on. Get it out there.
What network is that on?
I have no fucking clue. I don't know how she watches it.
It sounds like VH1.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to give me something else because I don't think we're going to download this. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, what about the LA Little Women LA? I was like, there is 2 person seeding this. They don't even have episode 3.
No, dude.
This is the internet. What shows are you watching?
You gotta look up on YouTube. Look up just like all the fucking highlight reels for that show. How far is Tattoo Far?
Oh god.
Have you heard of that?
No.
On TV? I
What?
started watching this the other night with my friend who's a tattoo artist.
Wait, what
'cause people keep asking him if he's seen it, and then we just sat down and watched it. Basically, it's like 2 people go on a show, and they get to pick the tattoo that the other person gets. And it's like, you kind of think like, oh, like these are like 2 best friends who are going on the show. They're going to be kind of like goofy with each other. But like they get up there and they are like fucking score settling. Like the knives are out and people are tattooing fucking horrible things on people. Like it is incredible.
But what I notice is people who get like tattoos all the time, they don't give a shit.
There are.
They
a couple
don't give
people-
a shit.
There are like there was one dude who got one of like it was like him and his ex-wife, and like she put a tattoo of like her like taking a shit, and it said dumped, and he's like, that's kind of funny, and she was like pissed off that he liked it, but he had like tattoos all over the place. But a lot of these people, it's like the first one they're getting.
Wow.
And they're just
Wow.
like, not cool.
Those people just want to be on TV.
Oh, of course.
What is the show called?
It's called How Far Is Tattoo Far? It's hosted by Snooki
so-
from Jersey Shore.
Oh, God.
And some other, but you can watch 5-minute condensed like
What's
highlight
the-
clips.
I just want
on
everybody to
YouTube.
know that when I said what network is Braxton Family Values on, and Puexel came to the rescue, he says it's on Crackle.
What the
I
What
think-
the fuck?
I
is
think he was
Crackle?
joking. How
Oh.
far is
How far?
Tattoo Far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Nick, screenshots of The Witcher. I wasn't like super
Way to bring it home,
super
Nolan.
impressed. I mean,
still looks better than that
I
first shot,
kind of
right?
need to see. Yeah, it definitely looks better than the first shot, but
He
I really
looks more like Geralt.
I really need to see it in action.
Yeah,
is,
I
like,
mean,
the
I
thing.
definitely still need
Does
to
he
see it in
talk?
motion.
I need to see.
No, it's not a clip. But
I need to see acting and writing and movement.
Yes, I agree. You know what I want to see?
Dude, it's Sony Crackle.
see?
Like
It is
it's
Crackle. He
apparently
wasn't
a
making it up.
thing.
Yeah,
So,
Crackle, you've-
sorry, I know we're jumping back and forth here. But about The Witcher, I really... Wait, he was joking? I'm so confused. I do need to see it in action, but you know what I want to know about more than anything almost? Because, like, I could stomach watching a show that, like, you know, has subpar writing if it looks cool, but, like, what the fuck are the monsters going to look like in this show?
Yeah.
Like, how big can the budget possibly
Hey,
be?
okay, let me listen. Is this the podcast?
Yes.
It's always the podcast.
This-
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bad show. That's
oh, sorry.
fine.
The network is We TV.
We
I looked it up.
Women's Entertainment.
So listen, it's gonna be a bad show, and that's
What?
fine.
No, wait, this show?
No. The Witcher.
Oh.
It's gonna be a bad show.
Hey. You know.
It's probably gonna be a bad show. That's just me being a realist. Okay.
Of course.
The sad part is that people have sort of like figured out that the story of the show is going to be the story of Ciri leading up to the events of Witcher 3, which is the best part of anything that was ever written about The Witcher.
Oh, yeah.
And it's unfortunate
That
that,
they
the
chose,
show
yeah.
is that, because that should absolutely be a video game prequel that they do where you play a Ciri.
I mean, they could still do that in a video game form. Like, I don't think this is going to be canon to the game.
But
you know
but
what I mean?
I feel like if they get the green light to do that story, that's because maybe they're not going to deal with it in the games. And
I mean, who knows?
That's frustrating.
Maybe they're done with the Witcher series as a game series.
well, I think what it is that the show is
After they
based
got
on the
sued
books
by the guy.
and not the games.
Yeah.
I mean, in that promo shot, Superman didn't have 2 swords.
No, he did not.
He just had 1 sword.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's kind of iconic at this point. What are you doing?
You know,
I-
I'm just saying. I'm just gonna. You know,
Maybe he
I'm
gets
gonna
another
be.
sword.
I'm gonna be the hopeless optimist
gonna be a
here.
bad show.
I think the production shots they've released thus far have instilled more faith in me, and I would.
I want to hear him
That's
talk.
optimistic.
Yes, I
for
do want to hear him talk.
That's true, too.
Definitely want to hear him
I
talk.
want to see a script.
Well, I don't know if
I
you
want to
ever.
speak to a manager. Who's in charge here?
All right. Anyways, one last news topic to cover.
Is it good news? Is
Yes,
it the best
that
news? You
is-
saved the best for last?
It is the
Nick
best
saved
news
the
to
best
me.
news for last. What is it, Nick?
This is just for you, Crispy. Remedy has secured the rights to the
Woo!
Alan Wake IP
Oh,
from
yay!
Microsoft.
Yay!
Is that a good thing?
Does this mean
fucking
Alan Wakes for years to come?
Is
No,
is that a
I
good
think
thing?
I think more than anything, it just means they have creative control over their IP again, and
Oh,
they don't
thank God.
necessarily have to wait for Microsoft to let them make another one. I mean,
So you're saying the next time we do say Alan Wake in a video game, we will be confident that it is a true Alan Wake experience.
No, I just mean it could actually happen now. I feel like it wasn't actually a realistic possibility that we get an Alan Wake 2
so
before.
we'll take anything we can get.
I will. I love Alan Wake. Are you kidding me? Yeah, fuck it. And here's the thing, like, Remedy makes solid-ass fucking video games.
Solid. Well, yeah. I mean, let's hope Control's good. It looks good.
It is good.
Well.
Sorry.
Control.
I misread you. I thought you were talking about the controls. And never mind.
No,
I get it. I forgot the next game is called Control. I played Control for 45 minutes.
Yeah, but
and it plays like a dream.
But here's what concerns me.
Slamming shit.
What if
into
it's a
walls is
situation where, kind of like Hitman, where I got Hitman back from Square Enix, and it's like, yay, hail the conquering hero, and then Hitman 2 comes out and no one fucking buys it because Square Enix realized that no one was going to buy another fucking Hitman game, and now IO Interactive is kind of...
But you know what? You still got...
What if that happens with Alan Wake?
You still got another really great Hitman game, which, even if that's the last one, like, you got another good Hitman game out of it. Like,
sure, but
I feel like Alan Wake...
It
Alan
didn't
Wake,
quite have the budget.
I'm just saying that as someone who just played Alan Wake last week, that game sets up a sequel. And it in my opinion, it's a game that absolutely deserves at least a sequel to give it a conclusion. And up until now, I feel like that wasn't even really on the table. It might be years, but like Remedy has control of it now, and I could see them finishing Control and saying, all right, our next project is going to be an Alan Wake project because we have the rights to it.
I bet you could see them doing that.
What if it doesn't quite have the budget to be the sequel people want?
What kind of? I mean, like, I feel like, how much money do you think it needs? Like, look at Control. Like that, I think Control has a much bigger budget than Alan Wake does, and Alan Wake is an established IP.
No, I don't think Control has the kind of budget Alan Wake has. Alan Wake was in development forever. That game definitely costs more than Control does. Control's being published by 505 Games.
I think it cost more than Control did because it had trouble development and it took longer than anticipated. But if you were to put them side by side and say they took the same amount of time to develop, I feel like right out of the gate, Control was probably given more money than they got for Alan Wake.
I don't
know. Considering the development that I went through and it ended up being as good as it did, like, I don't think they're going to have the same troubles probably going into Alan Wake 2. They know what Alan Wake is now. They know what worked. So all they really need to do is write a story, improve the tech, and, like, make it happen. I don't know. Fuck it. Anyways, I know you don't want to talk about Alan Wake anymore, so I'll stop. But Alan Wake is fucking phenomenal, and this is good news. It's firmly planted in the good news category.
$10 says Nick names his first boy Alan.
Wake. I'll name him Alan Wake.
Alan Wake.
Which one was Alan Wake?
He's going to name him American McGee.
American McGee's Alan Wake Henderson.
Nick, I feel like you champion this game. But in reality, most people who've played Alan Wake like Alan Wake. Yeah. Alan Wake is a liked game.
Why do you... Wait, okay. What's your point?
So, like, what you're like,
ready to
weirdly,
die on a hill that's not very, like...
Yeah.
I'm not dying on a hill.
Now, like, if you want to talk about how Quantum Break is, like, fucking incredible.
No, dude, first of all, I will go to bat for Quantum Break.
Okay.
The only reason you talk trash about Quantum Break is because you didn't play it.
No, I did play Quantum Break.
You finished that game?
No, I didn't finish it.
Did you play more than an hour of it?
I played through the first chapter and watched an episode of the show. Look. Here's the thing. You stand for Remedy. You have not played Max Payne 1 and 2. You need to fix that.
Wow.
Sure.
No, you're like replaying old games. How about you play an old game that's new
Max
for you?
Payne is on the list of games.
You played Max Payne 3, right?
Max Payne is on the list of games in our revival club. Maybe it'll come up.
Just play it. Don't throw caution to the wind. Just play it, man. Like, those are very fun games to play. They're also loved games. They're the reasons that people loved Remedy initially.
Be cautious about it.
They're the ones that made Remedy. Like, yeah, people love Max Payne.
I'm not saying I wouldn't like Max Payne.
I think you are.
Fuck off. I feel like... Oh, man.
No, I'm serious. I think that's like a perfect old game for you to go back and play.
Sure.
Both those games.
I'm not opposed to the idea. I just haven't done it yet.
Improve it.
Not out of spite.
I
or
would
anything,
say
I
like
just haven't done it.
Yeah. I'm just saying like.
I played Max Payne
There's
3.
a PS4 port of Max Payne 1.
What?
That's the PS2 version of Max Payne on a PS4.
And
Is that the best way to
and
play
it's
it?
$9.
I don't know. I mean,
I feel like
I
that
don't think
game
play
is-
it on PC.
I feel like that game is probably like $3 on PC.
But I also just realized you don't have a desk.
Correct.
Yeah.
Does that game not have gamepad support on PC?
I mean, you could probably hack it in.
That game's got to have gamepad support, right? Right?
Dude,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I like how
Yeah, totally buy it, Nick. It's
I like how
fine.
Show it
Puex-
to King,
I like how
man.
Puexel says you can finish Max Payne 1 in 3 days. I feel that's a very that game doesn't take 3 days to beat if you just sit down. And, that game can't be longer.
Those
than
are cool
8
games,
hours.
and they're very fun to play.
Yeah, that's not a sell. I only have 2 days off a week.
that game can't take longer than like 6 to 8
I have
hours
to go
to
to
play,
work
right?
on the third.
It might have controller support, but you're not just going to be able to like plug in your 360 controller and go. Probably.
Well, then I don't want to play it. I'm just kidding.
You
Maybe I'll
have-
play it on
You
PS4.
have to work a little bit to play your older
How,
PC
how bad
games,
can it
but-
be on PS4, right?
Nick,
Horrible.
you're a bad gamer.
Let me just, guys, I'll play. Fuck, fine, Brad. I'll report back to you next week.
There you go.
I want
if
this-
you play Quantum Break.
Me play Quantum Break? No, you're the Remedy fan. It's like you convincing, like say Final Fantasy Tactics is my favorite game of all time. It is. It's like you are like saying, Brad, you gotta play Tactics, Ogre, and I'm like, not gonna do it.
Wouldn't be prudent.
That's crazy.
All right, fair enough.
Anyways, let's move on.
Seriously, how long is Max Payne 1? That can't be like.
Or it's like
can't be like more than
it's like,
4 or 5 hours.
It's like me going to Crispy, like, you have to play Halo. This is what they made before Destiny. And he's going, I'm never playing Halo.
All right,
I would never play Halo.
it is time for the supporter spotlight. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
I-
Spotlight.
But
So-
seriously, you should play Marathon.
Oh my god, you fuckers. All right, guys.
You know, I
as
have thought about that.
I hate you both. Every week, guys, if you're a supporter of us on Patreon at the $3 tier or higher, you can take a short video game related survey. There's a questionnaire. There's a link to the questionnaire pinned in the supporters channel in Discord. It asks you some random questions about your gaming habits, your top 5 games of all time, your 4-player minute, all kinds of random
What's
stuff.
your sign?
What's your sign? Maybe I should add that. What's your horoscope today? You can fill that out, and then every week I'll pick one at random. I'll read a few answers off from there, and then next week we'll feature another one. This week, our supporter spotlight is on our supporter Overlord Ball, but his name is Alex. He's a lurker.
How does he spell
Actually, in chat. So I've actually never seen him pop up in chat. I've seen Overlord Ball in like Discord and stuff, but
Yeah.
his chat name apparently is Big M Clark.
It's not a real chatter.
Is he in chat?
He's making shit up.
He says he's a lurker.
A lurker's an understatement.
Maybe
what the
he-
fuck?
Maybe
He's not even signed
Maybe
in.
he's one of our international listeners who, it's like 4 in the morning for him.
Perhaps. No, he's from New York.
He's watching Critical Role right now.
Hey.
But
Yeah.
I will say, you know what? Thank you, first of all, Alex, for telling us where you're from. I think a lot of people fill these things out and they completely forget to tell us where they're from. You don't have to give us
that-
your street
is that an
address,
option?
but I would love to
On the
know
form? Is
where
that
you're
an
from.
option?
Yeah, I say, what is your name and where are you from? People say,
Okay.
my name's Joe, and then they
Well, you
just
gotta
stop.
say, what is your name? Next line, where are you from?
Maybe
you gotta
that's-
separate them.
All right, maybe I should do that. Anyways,
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
what is one? Here, let's see.
The question.
What are your top 5? Let's go. This is a good one to do all the time.
All right.
What is your top 5 games of all time?
What are your top 5?
You're asking
Well,
me?
I'd have to start.
I've actually already done mine in a video.
I'm working on my video right now, by the way.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not.
Bitch, you want me to show you?
No.
Sorry.
My
My number-
Show me when you're done.
I will.
Samuel Jackson.
The back of my head.
Here's number 1.
Number 2.
Anyways,
Sorry,
Alex's top 5 games of all time.
All right.
Number 5,
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy IX.
Of course.
All he says about this one is the correct one, and I agree.
Man,
I
Nick's
agree.
been picking these chatters.
I've been
for
play-
supporters.
I-
I
By the
am
way-
so surprised that your favorite Final Fantasy is an 8. I don't know why.
That's his favorite, I think.
I know,
Correct.
but I think it should be yours.
Why? I love
it
8.
It just fits your personality. I feel like.
I'm not gonna read into that too much.
Don't.
Your favorite Final Fantasy is the one you played at a certain age.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that just happened to be 9 for him.
Well, I played 7, 8, and 9 pretty close. I played by the time I played
they all
7
came
for the
out
first
near each
time.
other.
8 was about to come out, so I played 7, and then I jumped straight into 8, and then I don't think it was like a year, maybe 2 years until 9. I don't remember.
The characters in 8 look more like they would be in a band that you listen to.
Fuck! I knew it. I fucking knew it.
I mean,
Dude.
it's true, though. Like, I'm surprised 9 is your favorite.
Well,
Is it your favorite?
It is my favorite.
What you just said.
But is it really, though?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, abso-fucking-lutely it is.
Are you a poser?
I'm playing it. I was playing it before the
What's
show.
the black mage's name?
Vivi.
Oh, maybe he is. I don't know.
Oh my god. All right. He says Final Fantasy IX is number 5. Number 4, Devil Survivor 2 Record Breaker.
what the fuck is
I
that?
love the SMT series, and I love the mix of turn-based strategy game and turn-based SMT combat. After the new content that was added to the 3DS version, I think this version of it has become my favorite Shin Megami Tensei game.
Cool.
Have you played that, Brad?
I
feel like
played
you've
the
played
first-
you've played
I
a lot more of the Shin Megami Tensei games.
I played the first Devil Survivor. Like 25 hours. That's the one that's like, it's got like a tactical, it looks like Final Fantasy Tactics on the map, but when you go into battle, it's like a more traditional Shin Megami Tensei turn-based RPG battle.
Gotcha. So something more similar to like Persona. I mean, I only have to compare to like 3.
I mean,
and
it's a
4.
Shin Megami Tensei game. So
I am very unfamiliar with Shin Megami Tensei outside
there's
of Persona.
demons and
Yeah.
fusing, and yeah, you're getting a little snowman dude who casts an ice spell.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's cute.
Jack Frost.
Yes.
Olaf.
Yes.
Olaf.
Olaf.
Probably.
Thank you for clarifying where that was from. His number 3 game of all time is Mega Man X.
Hey, you know what?
Or is that X or 10?
It's X.
X.
Okay,
X.
just checking.
There is
I-
a 10.
You fucking fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, you want?
Those are very different.
You know what? I've never played a Mega Man game.
God damn it.
Whoa.
Meg.
What,
Fuck
is
me.
Is that true, though? Is
Yeah.
that true?
I don't
I
take
mean-
offense to that, but it's just weird.
More than like I've never played a Mega Man game for more than like 10 minutes.
Dude, but like
Yeah, I
X
mean, I'm not
is,
surprised.
Like the one
X
that-
is like very accessible.
X
Like,
is the best.
I could
X
say
is-
you could play X now. I
Dude,
me's
X is
cool.
cool.
Super Nintendo game, but
Wait,
like
isn't
it's
that-
it's
oh,
one of those
no.
Super Nintendo games that
X
are
is the one where you
kind of
play-
evergreen.
You don't play Mega Man, you play X or Mega Man X.
Yeah, it's a different
like,
series.
yeah, it's like it's way in the future, Dr. Light, and everyone's like.
You never
dead.
played Mega Man Legends, or
I played the most I think I've played of a Mega Man game is Legends, the one that Crispy played on 1998.
Battle Network?
Yes.
Yeah.
Battle Network.
And even
so
then I didn't
good.
play a lot of it.
Network.
Battle Network's so
Crazy.
good.
Man, that would
anyways.
be like a really good like out of your comfort zone. Just like pop in like
Be a good
Battle
remote
Network
game.
Hey, you can't. I'm
2.
Max
yeah.
Payne is what the next. You can't
Okay,
load
Max
me up
Payne.
with. Don't distract me. You've
Yeah,
already
but
given me Max
that's like
Payne.
an obvious one. That's like a you should play. Like,
I know.
That's a
His number 2 game of all time, The Legend of Zelda.
Ah! Wind Waker?
probably
Oracle of
Ocarina
Seasons.
of
We
Time.
got Wind Waker. We got Oracle Seasons. What's your guess?
I'm gonna go Ocarina of Time.
You're all wrong.
No, Oracle of Ages.
No, what the?
No,
It's a link to the past, guys.
I mean, that's my favorite.
He says, still my favorite Zelda game. I wish that Nintendo would make a new top-down sprite-based Zelda.
Man.
Yeah, I should have known. I mean, if Mega Man X, he loves Mega Man X.
Yeah,
was
that
a
is true.
Super
That's about
Nintendo
that
guy.
same time, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty classic.
I was just trying to go out there. I always say Link to the Past because it's my favorite, but I wanted to try.
You
and
want to see if there's
This
some?
person's
Yeah.
probably like 29 to 32 years old.
He doesn't specify.
fucking millennials.
Probably, though.
And his number 1 game of all time is Chrono Trigger. I should have said Chrono.
Chrono Trigger? Yeah,
Uh,
this person's 32 years old.
He says it's probably my most replay game of all time. Okay, first of all, let me just say that is right there maybe one I should prioritize above anything else because I still haven't
Probably.
played that
Chrono
game.
Trigger?
Man, it broke. Like you picked it up when it came out on DS, and you played a few hours, and you're like, I just don't think this is for me, and that broke my fucking heart.
That's why I put it down, just to break your heart.
No, you'd already.
I know. It's. I feel like I would be more open to it now. I feel like I've grown as a person
Maybe
Yeah.
you should just split
and
the
as a
difference
video
and try
game
Chrono Cross.
enthusiast. Huh?
Maybe you should just split the difference and try Chrono Cross.
I've played Chrono Cross like
Stop
4 times.
it.
I've
Stop
beaten
it.
Chrono Cross 4 times, which is like what makes this even crazier.
I don't know what's going on with my wife's text, but I said you should look up how far is Tattoo Far. A show, because I'm like, this is probably some trash you like. And she responded 3 times. I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I've heard of it. It's probably
like
a glitch or a
excited?
mistake.
or
She's
she's
like, "I've
really
heard of that."
excited.
No. She doesn't.
She's
get
like,
excited.
you didn't scoop me on the trash. I already knew about the trash.
Especially when it involves bread.
Did you hear that?
What'd
He
she-
goes. She doesn't get excited.
Yeah, it's not a personality.
Anyways, sorry. Chrono Trigger. He says it's probably my most replay game of all time. The combination of story, combat, and gorgeous sprite art still hasn't been beat. Oh, and that's all he says for that. Sorry.
Okay.
There's another paragraph after that, but it's not related to Chrono Trigger. He has a special mention. He says, I'm going to cheat and add the Legend of Heroes series as a special mention because while it has become one of my favorite series in all of gaming, I still need to do some soul searching before I can decide on a favorite.
Well, I wish you luck on your journey.
Well, I'll just go ahead and since I'm going to pick 2 questions to answer, he does roll right into one of the other questions we ask, which is what is a game that you consider to be underrated that you wish more people would play? And he says, The Legend of Hero games. These games have fantastic characters, fun combat and customization, engaging, though slower paced stories, incredible charm, and one of the best developed settings I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Best
I've heard
developed
that a lot.
settings. Best developed settings.
World building, really great world building, and world building. In
Out
that
of
series.
everything he just said, that sentence makes me want to look into that.
Well, there's
more.
2 series that have been coming west. There's the Trails in the Sky series, and then there's also the Trails of Cold Steel. It's the same world, but they're very different types of games.
Yeah.
Sorta. I mean, yeah.
He says they're all available on PC with a much appreciated fast forward button. Honestly, most games should have
Nice.
that fast forward toggle.
You
That
would
is true.
probably prefer Cold Steel because that's more modern.
But, like, why do you say that? Like, Final Fantasy IX is my favorite Final Fantasy, and that is not.
Trails of Cold Steel looks older than. I mean,
Trails in the Sky.
Trails in the Sky looks older than Final Fantasy IX.
You mean
in some ways.
You mean in terms of like the actual kind of setting or like the world it's building?
No, like just presentation. It's not like a big budget thing.
He's saying your graphics.
I mean,
person.
he has a tough time with like Final Fantasy 6 and stuff.
I mean, but in my defense, it's been many
it looks
years.
more like a Super Nintendo game.
It's been many years since I've tried playing Final Fantasy 6 or Chrono Trigger, so I like to think that I've maybe grown as a person enough to have better luck if I tried them
Okay,
again.
well then fuck
Well,
all
that'd
this.
be nice, wouldn't it?
Then play Chrono
But
Trigger.
yes, but also like maybe I like those will come to the Switch eventually, right? Like
What,
it's just
Chrono
wait-
Trigger?
Yeah, sure.
You're waiting on Chrono Trigger?
Let's
I
hold our
mean,
breath.
You're waiting on Final
What am I
Fantasy
gonna
6?
play? Like what platform am I gonna play Chrono Trigger on these days?
We've had this conversation.
Your
Tell me
DS?
again.
It's a Super Nintendo classic, dog.
I'm
Super
not
Nintendo
buying a
Classic?
fucking classic.
Dude.
Oh shit.
There you go.
Oh shit.
Problem solved.
Yeah, like how I borrowed his PlayStation TV.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Wait,
All right.
do we still have it?
Next
Yeah.
question.
All right, that's actually it. Like I said, guys, if you want to fill out the questionnaire, we're gonna pick one person at random every week. I literally use a random number generator. I won't do the same person back to back if I pick the same person twice. But there is always a chance that once we get through everybody, we might circle back around because there's like 10 questions, so I could always revisit your answers and pick you again. So if you're interested in becoming a supporter spotlight, all you gotta do is support us at, I think it's a $3 tier or
$3.
higher on Patreon, which is patreon.com/4Player. And once you're in there, you can go sync up your account with your Discord account and go into the supporters channel or supporter spotlight channel. And there is a pinned message in there with a link to the questionnaire. You can take the fill out the questions and everything. It's very simple. And I will let you know. I usually email you the day of the recording to let you know that we'll be reading your answers. So anyways, thank you, Alex, for your submissions. Yeah. Nolan?
What's up, Nick?
Oh no.
Time for what?
Please stop doing that.
Anyways,
All right. Time for questions from our supporters on Patreon and on Twitch.
Yep.
Every week we post a thread and you can ask us any question you want. The first question this week from Mr. Green Toast.
Uh-oh.
I miss it when beating a game would unlock extras, such as the original God of War showcasing concept models after clearing the game, or the Ratchet and Clank games having a hidden museum showcasing prototype concepts. So with that in mind, what bonus features or extras would you like to see return in modern games? Costumes! Fucking changeable costumes that I don't have to pay $1 for each of them.
Costumes are a big one. I also, I feel like there's so many games nowadays that just kind of like settle for like, we're doing a new game plus, and that kind of becomes their like the main thing. And it's like, dude, go further than that. Do some fun shit, man. Make it
Dude, one of my favorite things was the Uncharted games. They had a lot of shit you could unlock.
Yeah.
Now you had to pay for it with in-game currency you unlocked by doing shit in the world. So they give you all these requirements. Oh, shoot X number of people, use this gun this many times, and it would get you points, and you could use those points to unlock, slowdown mode, speed up mode, like different filters and stuff like that.
And some of those filters,
some
of those filters, like in Uncharted
Lost Legacy,
are
pretty cool.
Really cool.
Yeah. See, I like that concept. It's I don't have to pay any extra. I do have to put in a little effort to do it, but why not? I mean,
tie like you said, like tie those incentives to
like in
playing the game.
Like, yeah.
And also, like, I think anything that's like well produced, like behind the scenes, like production related stuff is cool and worthwhile.
Yeah. I like when they do, like, I used to like when they would do really cool unlocks, not just like cosmetic stuff, but like mechanical stuff in game, like weapons and stuff. But things that were like obviously like breaking the like immersion of the game.
Yeah.
Like one I think of would be like Resident Evil 4, right?
Yeah.
So like you could get like, because I remember I had the PS2 version of that back in the day, and you could get like the Chicago typewriter with like the gangster outfit, or like if you beat the game like 3 times or something, you could get that like laser gun or some shit. Like there was a sci-fi weapon.
Resident Evil 4 in particular has always been really good at like really cool weapons and cosmetic upgrade. Like they always have like loads of cool.
The
shit
Resident
at
Evil
the end.
series,
Yeah, it's just really
period.
It's great.
Always
That
had
kind of stuff.
Also, Igavanias always have like unlockable characters and modes and stuff that are really cool.
Yeah,
there's some coming to Bloodstained.
Yep,
for sure.
All right, moving on. Next question from Zero Skies.
Zangetsu.
What cliche in a plot immediately puts you off from continuing with it, be it a game, movie, or etc.?
I don't know. I don't know that I have a good answer for this, but I will say that I think it definitely depends on the medium. There are things that like in a movie would be disappointing that like in a game maybe not so much, because there's a lot of things about like cliche plot points that create inherent drama that like it makes more sense in a game setting because like you're taking an active role in the story.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not as it may be boring just to watch it unfold, but like when you're part of it, it makes more sense.
Like I give a pass to some anime tropes in video games, I think.
Yeah. You know,
but that turned me off.
I feel like the
I mean, I don't. My expectations for video game stories aren't so high that.
Yeah, I don't know if there's. I don't know if there's any plot stuff that turns me off of games. I generally, if I'm not enjoying the plot, I just start ignoring it. Like if it's a game where the gameplay is good enough that I want to continue playing it and the plot sucks, I'll keep playing that game. For me, it's the other way around. If a game has a really good story but the gameplay is bad, I probably would put down the game.
And I feel like games more so than movies, where like the plot itself can be weak, but if the characters are fun or likable, like it almost feels like the story isn't bad because you enjoy being around the characters.
Well, I mean, that's not like, I don't know. You're kind of assigning this artificial hierarchy to like what's more important in a story, you know?
Well,
like the setting in the story can be weak
Yeah.
if it's like a character-driven story, as long as those characters are on point. It's like when everything's bad. I don't know. If I had to give a specific example, I would say if I'm like watching an anime or something and it's about people in a school, I'm already kind of like
out
against it. Not out,
So
but
you're
like,
not getting the new Fire Emblem?
no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like in an anime, if I was watching a show, I would be out. In a game, I kind of like that. Like, I don't know. It's like it's so okay. Even more granular. Gundam. If a new Gundam comes out and it's about like a magic boy piloting a Gundam, then I'm kind of just like
a magic boy.
Yeah, you know, like a special kid who's like got powers, but he's sad, and his Gundam is basically magic and has like a soul.
The Gundam is a euphemism for his
and then
penis.
he has to like unlock his true potential and stop being sad.
Some shonen shit?
Yeah, I'm kind of just like, okay, I just want to go back to like the cool war stories.
All right, let's move on.
Cool.
Next question from Piost.
Piost.
I forgot to ask this during the E3, but since PAX is coming up, how do you normally pass the time while waiting in lines at conventions?
I'll tell you what I do now. I talk to you guys in Discord.
Yeah.
Because y'all got me through waiting 4 hours to play Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Yeah.
I sat there in that line, and I spent almost the entire time. I had my phone plugged into a portable battery charger, and I just sat there in line, and I just talked to you guys in Discord. I was jumping back and forth between channels. It's like, please talk to me. Other than
visiting you while you were in line twice.
you did, I think you even brought me like a snack or something. I don't remember what it was,
For me, it's a couple of things.
which I appreciate.
First thing I always do is take any kind of extra notes on something I've just seen. So if I finish seeing something or playing something, and I know...
Well, that burned through 5 minutes. What next?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll do notes. That's always the first thing I do. I'll then hit up Twitter or something like that to see if there's anything like news-wise.
If you have
that's
the
been going
connection.
on. Yeah, if you can connect to it. And then I've never really gone to too many conventions since we've had Discord. So I haven't that. But I mean, that might be something
I will
would do
say the
now.
Switch.
But then also, yeah, I would say I normally have some sort of system, like a DS
I've been
or a
very
Switch or
hesitant to
something.
take my Switch with me to like a convention because I'm just so paranoid. But then I look around and I'm like, everybody has a Switch. And I'm like, what did I do? Why did I not bring my Switch?
Paranoid about what?
I mean, I just feel like it's something that would be really easy to like, lose or have someone steal.
Maybe you need a slightly more portable Switch. A Switch Lite.
I mean,
All right, let's move on. Next question. Monam, if you guys were challenged by another podcast to play a set of games 1v1, which game would each of you choose, and which one of you would be sent out to play it first?
Wait.
Each of us would pick a game.
we would have to pick a game, and then we'd have to say who do we feel like we would be confident enough to send out first. I mean, Stunned Panda apparently has way too much faith in us. He says we would fuck up kind of funny. I don't. First of all, I don't play really any competitive multiplayer games, so I don't know if I'm the best person to even ask, or I don't think I would ever be the first person anybody chose to send out in a competitive situation.
Nick's pretty horrible.
I would pick Dive Kick.
I thought you were going to say The Last of Us, like, factions.
No.
Well, I guess you can't do one-on-one in that, can you?
You can.
You
In
can?
theory, yeah.
Sure you can.
Chris Davis has an answer.
We all know it's Splinter Cell. Fuck off.
No, it's not. Splinter.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Division.
No, it's not that either. It's Mario Kart 64
Ooh.
Battle Mode.
Oh,
Ooh.
1v1 me stadium, bitch.
no.
No.
The correct answer, though, is Diddy Kong Racing.
No, it's
The, I don't even remember what the fuck it's called. They have a battle mode there, too. It's pretty cool.
They do.
Versus.
I don't know. I feel like Mario Kart would actually be a pretty solid choice all the way around.
Tekken?
I mean, yours should be a fighting game for sure. The thing is, like, I think we would all have wildly different choices. So, if we would just pick ourselves, right? I guess. What about Assassin's Creed Brotherhood? Or I guess,
Oh, like the fucking multiplayer mode?
yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I wasn't that good at it.
Yeah, Chris
I don't think it like stayed controlled enough, or like I don't think people behaved and like played the game seriously long enough for anybody to get particularly good at it. I don't know.
Man, that was pretty good.
Dude, it
Yeah.
got kind of nuts.
There was a time when I would have said GoldenEye all the way, but I can't play it anymore. That was like the only game in my life I can remember spending countless numbers of hours playing and getting to the point where I felt like I was good, like legit good, and like could probably win most matches that I played.
Yeah.
But I can't. I pick up a controller and I literally can't even move the character
Dude,
anymore.
I was going to say this as a joke, but it really got me thinking. How easy was your replay of Devil May Cry 3?
I mean, I didn't have any problems. What do you want me to...
Well, you are playing an
The-
easier version of the game.
I mean,
but
yeah, I admittedly was, but like I didn't really... I think...
Classic Nick.
I can't remember a boss in that game that I got stuck on, really.
All right, let's move on.
Damn.
Final question.
I think the most fight or the most tries I think was the first time I fought Virgil.
Final question from the Green Goddamn. Have any of you changed habits because of discussions on this podcast? For example, after the zip whip pee or wipe arguments, did any of you try the opposite method to see if you prefer it?
I tried eating human meat.
What about the bathwater?
not
You
bad.
said you already told us you ordered the bathwater, right?
No, I didn't.
So you
order
tried the bathwater. How's the bathwater?
I'm surprised we didn't like order the bathwater for the podcast. And
You know,
I'll take a sip.
Maybe this is a good opportunity to mention that we have a P.O. box again.
What was
Do we?
Yes,
is
we
that
do.
posted anywhere?
Yeah, it's on the website.
it's on the website.
It's on the website.
Someone send us some of that bath water.
If anybody wants to send us stupid candies or
Now we know it's
Bath
not real.
water.
I'll take a sip.
Send us your bathwater.
no, please don't. Please don't send it. I'm actually kidding, guys. Don't actually send us bathwater. I don't want it. I don't want it. And
We
not to mention,
prefer
I don't want to have
toilet
to
water.
explain to like postal service employees why there's a bunch of water coming out of this fucking box in
Tell
our
them it's
thing.
from a spring in the Himalayas.
I mean, I'm hoping they put it in a container, not like a Ziploc bag or something. It's just leaking in our P.O. box everywhere. They gotta shut down the post office.
It's like a bunch of saran wrap, duct tape at one end. It's just like a bulb of water with postage on it.
Don't put it in a little balloon and tie a knot in it.
A balloon knot.
Yeah. All right. Let's get some questions from our supporters on Twitch.
What was
Which-
the implied change with Zip Whip P though?
Uh,
Who among us
Nick
does not zip,
did
whip, and pee?
undid his belt.
Oh.
Was the thing.
Yeah, and the top and the button.
And the button.
You pulled your pants all
No.
the way down.
No.
And your shirt all the way up.
No, I don't.
They just held it up there.
The belt, really?
Why the belt, man?
Because I unbuttoned the. You guys are fucking.
Let's get back to this.
First of all,
question.
I'm
This conversation's
staunchly against. I think y'all are crazy for.
For not undoing our belts
Yes.
every time we have to.
There's
take
a
pin.
fly for a reason.
I just don't use it that way.
He doesn't use
What
the font.
do you use it for?
Nothing. I use it for nothing except for making it
Okay,
easier
that's
to.
fine, but
pee.
like you know you're wrong.
No, I don't. I know you are all wrong.
You don't believe that.
We had this conversation, and y'all couldn't understand why. Like when I do that, like my pants don't fall down. But I don't understand.
No. How our dicks don't fall down? I don't like.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Like, yeah. What is the?
This is a conversation we can't continue to have because there's not a situation where I'm like,
No,
well,
I
let me
just
demonstrate
want-
for you
I
because
just
that's not
Yeah,
happening.
let's see it.
I just want you to say it's how I do it. I get that it's wrong, but
No.
it's just what makes me comfortable.
I don't think your pants would fall down, but if you were in a situation where all of a sudden there was like a scuffle, in the bathroom, and someone like bumped into you, there's a chance your pants could fall down.
That's true.
On top of peeing
No.
on yourself,
Yeah.
now
No.
your pants are around your ankle.
I'll be so like when I'm home, right, and I'm like getting ready for bed. I'll like walk into the bathroom and I'll like pee in my jeans.
Why are you still wearing your belt if you're getting ready for?
No, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get undressed, get ready for bed, right?
Okay,
and so
tell us
I
more.
I start the process of taking off my pants, right? I undo my belt, and I
Slower,
pee,
Nick.
right? And
Slower.
then
Hold on, back up.
God
Did
damn
you
it.
unzip too?
yes,
Okay.
I unbutton, I unzip, I open the belt, right? I pee,
Snake it
and
out.
then I just like walk around.
Uh-huh.
I can walk around without touching my pants, without them falling down.
With your dick out?
No.
You walk around your house with your pants on?
Next question.
All right. Questions from our supporters on Twitch. Chai asks, have you ever done something for the sake of being a good Samaritan, only for it to backfire horribly in your face? Ooh, that's a good question.
Everything I do at work?
Everything you do at
No,
work?
it's like every time there's like some new like group or committee or something, I'm like, oh well,
I'll
I
help
should
out.
help out, and then I'm immediately like, why did I do that? Like, fuck you.
I think that's against the spirit of the question.
I mean,
Sorry.
I think most of my answers would be work related too, where it's like where I think to myself, oh, like the other. Well, this is you don't want to hear about my work details, but there was a situation where something came up and it was like, oh no, this is a lot of work, and I was like, here, give me some of that. I will do part of it for you. I'll help you. And I thought I was going to be able to do it in like an hour, and it just like I finished it. And I was like, all right, I'm done. And then my boss came in and was like, all right, here's a little bit more since you're moving so quickly. And I'm like, no. And then it became my entire day.
Yeah.
It became my entire fucking day. But that's probably the best
See,
answer.
Green
I could-
Goddamn is a good one. He tried to help a lost dog once and it bit him and then ran away.
Oh, that's fucked up.
That's a good one.
I'm trying to think.
I've had more than one people that it was like, that were like, oh, we have an open room and my brother needs a place to live, or my friend needs a place to live. Sure, let him live with us. And then it's like,
What have I done?
Like-
I do have an answer. Not too long ago, I was on my way to work, and I got all the way to my office. So I had already driven like 15 minutes, right? And I'm driving down the highway, and I start to see all the cars in front of me like parting, like, and a dog is just walking up the middle of the road, and I was like, oh no! So I like pulled over, and I opened my door. I was like, hey buddy, come here, because this is on fucking 360, and he ran right up to me, right past me, jumped into my car. I was like, he's safe, yay! And then I realized it was 8 o'clock in the morning. I was at work. I was supposed to be working like 2 minutes. I tried to find a shelter. The closest shelter that I could take him to didn't open until 11 o'clock.
What the fuck?
And I was like, what
So you
the
brought him into the office.
So I called my boss, and I had to go all the way back home, put him in my backyard, give him some water, and then go back to work, and then tell my boss that I had to leave in about 2 hours to go back out to my house, and then drive him all the way out to the shelter. It took my time. I basically took the whole day off because I helped that dog.
Oh
but
my
you know
god,
what?
you helped a dog and got a day off of work.
I felt good
that
about
really
it.
backfired in your face.
I mean, I was stuck in traffic a lot.
Here's one. This wasn't me, but I was a traffic accident that I heard about where someone had like stopped to like let someone like jaywalk, and someone in the other one just like ran him over and killed him.
All right, that takes it to a
Nice,
whole new
Brad.
level. Next question.
The only thing I
That's
would
never
say,
a good Samaritan thing to do.
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh, no,
that
no,
person
no.
that
Yeah,
stops.
Don't.
Keep
no.
going, god damn it.
There's a lot of rules on the road, and a lot of people think they're being nice by letting someone else do something, but you're making it
The
more
family of the
dangerous.
person who died sued the person who stopped to like wave that person on, by the way.
Good.
The only thing I can think of is I told the story before, so quick synopsis. Helped a guy move his car in Italy, and we think he was stealing the car, but didn't think about it. Didn't think about it until after we were done. But yeah, so that's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head, at least. All right. Next question from Thorax. For Crispy's big comeback, what kind of shenanigans Randy Pitchford would do if he had all the Infinity Stones?
Oh my god, I don't want to even imagine.
That's
what
true
that
nightmare
would be.
scenario.
That world would have probably more like. Oh, I can't. Oh god, it's so gross. Oh my god, you know that? Oh,
It
do you guys
involved
remember
magic
that picture of Randy
tricks.
Pitchford that Carlos tweeted a few weeks ago.
No.
Okay, don't go look.
Should I go look this up?
Don't go look for it. It was fucking weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like a picture that he had sent to somebody with like I don't even know what the context was, but it's like him on his knees, like looking up, and he's got like it looked like some kind of weird like fucking like
Sex thing.
sex picture. Yeah, like it was fucking weird. I don't know. Why are we talking about this?
You brought it up.
No! Like, why is this question a thing? Randy Pitchford's world would be like Biff Tannen's Back to the Future Part 2, Hill Valley,
Mm-hmm.
except with
More child porn.
yeah, more child porn and close up.
That's like I was like,
magic.
are we gonna make it through this question without somebody saying child porn? And that was
Or magic trick.
Yeah,
or magic. Yeah, it would have something
and
to do with
possibly
magic.
like pee porn or something. I don't know, right?
All right, moving on. Next question. Wait, no, that was it. That's our last question.
Thank you guys so much for the questions.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no. Like Nolan said, if you want to support us on Patreon or Twitch, if you support us on Patreon at the $1 tier higher, $1 a month, you can ask us anything. If you're a supporter on Twitch or if you're a subscriber, I mean, if you're at the $5, I guess it's all the same. If you're a $5 subscriber on Twitch, you get access to all the $5 benefits on Patreon, and you can ask us questions every week. If you want to do that and you're a Twitch subscriber, all you got to do is go to the supporters channel in Discord and ping me at Nick before the show, and we'll read your questions, all that good stuff. So let's wrap the show up with the 4-player minute. Hype, sweat, thank you, fuck you. Brad, are you ready?
Yeah.
Hit us up.
My hype for this week goes to it was a recent Slay the Spire patch that had like a tease for maybe a future character, like I guess part of the tease or a leak or whatever was some form of purple energy. I don't know. I'm excited. The idea of a new
Spyro.
class in Slay the Spire is like so amazingly exciting for me. I can't even describe it. But my sweat this week goes for the new Fire Emblem game. I'm just I'm curious about where I am at with this series because I want to love it again, but I don't know. We'll see. I didn't like Fates. My thank you goes to David for sending Henry a Spyro the Dragon plush. Thank you. He doesn't really like it that much, but actually he kind of does. I don't know. It does this weird thing where it's like squeeze Spyro or like, hug him and he'll start shaking. Like
Give him a seizure?
the package says shake action. And literally, he just shakes. He doesn't even make a noise. He just shakes
Has a seizure.
Like he's horrified.
That's not really a thing that Spyro does. That's weird.
Nothing should just shake like that. It's very strange.
It shakes like a scared dog.
He just slams it on the ground just to see it shake, and it's like it's terrified of Henry. It's very, very weird.
Oh my goodness.
But thanks. And my fuck you goes to me and Square Enix a little bit. I've been thinking a lot about Final Fantasy 14. I think a lot of people have been talking about it because the latest expansion is supposed to be really good.
Dude, what is up with that? That
Fuck
thing
me
is
for
blowing up.
ever thinking about like playing an MMO, much less a Final Fantasy MMO. But I was listening to the music a little bit. It's like fuck Square Enix for like putting out all these stupid Final Fantasies and having all the cool shit go into the MMO.
Of course.
Like everyone's talking about like, oh, the story's great, the like setting, the music. It's like, why can't that be like a single player?
Yeah.
Yes.
Final
Why
Fantasy?
can't
Thank
that
you.
be Final
Preach.
Fantasy 15?
Jesus
Why couldn't that have
Fucking
been?
preach. But hey, maybe the success of 14 will make them maybe kind of like nudge them in that direction for
Maybe.
16.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with 12, maybe right after
Yeah.
11. But oh man, yeah. Why was there an Ivalice section in an MMO and not in a fuck whatever?
Yeah.
I'm done.
All right, my 4-player minute starts now. My hype is for my friend Pedro. I'm pretty excited to play that game. Why are you making a face,
Yeah, it's
bro?
alright. I've been playing.
No, I didn't make a face. I'm just. I mean, it's been out.
Well, Brad, I can't play every single game immediately because of my sweat, which is like the more time that goes on, it seems like I have less time for games.
Yeah.
Like I like there's just so much shit going on. I've been like doing a bunch of stuff around my house. I had to like redo like my entire like kind of yard setup and fix up that, and I've been doing some like internal not like construction, but kind of change some stuff around, and just like I just have no fucking time. I play like 5 hours of games a week.
Oh.
And it just like sucks. There's something like every weekend where I don't have like a weekend off, and so I can't just like, oh, I'm gonna play
I
games
saw
all
someone tweet the other
Saturday.
day. It was like I never would have guessed that adulthood meant telling myself that there would eventually be free time. It would all eventually calm down until I die.
Yeah. Yeah. My thank you goes to CCP Games, just for all the shit they're starting in EVE Online. I don't play the game, but I'm delighted to hear the stories about it. It's pretty cool. And my fuck you is gonna go to myself, because in this trying times of so many games in 2019 coming out that I need to spend time playing, I've been wanting to like replay some stuff. Like I had a friend that it was over for 4th of July, and he was talking about how he's like starting to play XCOM, and then we were talking about it for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and I was like,
Hey man,
I want to play
one thing I'm
XCOM.
learning, and I know we've talked about this before, but like I'm just kind of like giving into that desire right now, and like
But
it's
I understand, but the problem becomes I do that, and then 3 months goes by, and then it's end of the year time, and then I start playing these games that I meant to get around to, and I fucking fall in love with them, and it's like, dude, if I would have just played this fucking like 4 months ago,
Or you
I
could
would have
always
finished it.
try and do like a old game, new game,
Yeah,
old game,
I
new
know.
game, old game, just back and forth.
Anyway, that's
Forever.
Old game you've never played.
Old
it.
game
Yeah,
you've never
that's a
played.
good
Better,
point. Yeah. What's up, Crispy?
Yes, Brad. Crispy,
Well, I'm gonna do a few different hypes
hit us.
because I want to.
Do it.
Do whatever
I
you
dare
want.
It is my want.
It is your world, your oyster.
I dare you. Won't.
I won't. My hype is my first hype of several.
Is you're killing me.
Is actually for Slay the Spire. I kind of feel like I've just like gotten over a huge hump in that game.
Oh.
And I'm at like 36 hours, and like like I'm fine. Like the deck mechanics are really starting to solidify, and I'm like becoming much more discerning about the cards I pick, and like I'm starting to figure out builds and know which cards I like for each character, and like once you get that under your belt, like you can start doing some crazy things, which is really fun.
Have you unlocked Act 4 yet?
I haven't. I've only beaten Act 3 with one of the characters.
Okay.
So I'm still trying. I've gotten close with another one, the Iron Will, or whatever that guy's name is.
Ironclad.
Ironclad.
Yeah.
But I still haven't quite cracked it yet. Another hype I have is a non-video game related hype, but it is a gaming related hype.
Mm-hmm.
I have been the last like month or so has been, as far as like tabletop role playing games go, has like been a period of branching out for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been exploring other systems. I started playing a Star Wars Fantasy Flight game with a group that has been a lot of fun. I just ordered some Numenera 2, which is the new version of Numenera, like Discovery and something like that. Which that game sounds amazing. There's one I'm looking to get called Fiasco, which I think this group could really benefit from playing because
Do you think that?
it's a super like streamlined, like no GM kind of sit around game that's designed to be chaotic. It's
Fuck it.
really cool.
Let's play it for our next
But yeah, like
board game thing.
I'm getting like super into tabletop games that just like aren't D&D, which I love D&D, but like, you know, branching out is fun, and there's a lot of really great stuff in the space nowadays. Like a lot of cool people making a lot of cool things. I also have a hype for Judgement.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really cool. I've really enjoyed Yakuza 0. I still have to finish it. But I kind of forgot that it came out.
Yeah.
I've been in this weird like lull lately where I've kind of just been like jumping through like 3 games pretty non-committally. So Judgment might be a cool one to sit down and like, you know, like
Plow through.
work on for a minute, you know. My sweat would be probably Fire Emblem 2. Like Fire Emblem did look really interesting when it was announced, and I remember kind of feeling like you felt, Nick, where it was like, I don't know, like Awakening was really cool and I put a lot of time into that, but like every other Fire Emblem that's come out since then, I've just kind of like bounced on pretty immediately. This one looks cool. I want it to be fun, but like I don't like, is it something I'm going to be able to get into? But like,
It's probably going to be pretty good.
gonna give it a fucking try. We'll see. I mean, I'll see what the reviews are like.
Cool. Thank you, Crispy. All right, my 4-player minute starts now. My hype this week is actually for The Last of Us Part 2. There's lots of rumors swirling right now that the release date's going to be announced in the not-too-distant future, and it's going to be February, which I think kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Given, you know, kind of what's been announced for already releasing late this year, and, you know, Last of Us Part 1 came out in June, so it doesn't seem like they're going for, like, winter release, so, you know, February kind of makes sense. And obviously I said I'm playing through Last of Us Part 1, and I'm remembering why that game was so special and why I loved it so much. It's starting to make me think about all the possibilities for The Last of Us Part 2, because there is almost no story, like there's almost no game out there I can think of that like has told a story almost as perfectly as The Last of Us. It's so fucking good.
Agreed.
My sweat this week goes to my top 10 games of all time, which I'm officially starting to work on. I have my list, I think, pretty nailed down, but like even committing to a list of top 10 games of all time is scary. So I'm a little, I don't know if worried is the right word. It's more of just kind of like apprehensive about it. I don't know. My fuck you of the week goes to, oh god, I don't have the name of the studio here, but there was a new Turok game announced this week. Called Turok Escape from Lost Valley, and my heart stopped when I saw this.
Of course.
And I clicked on the link, and it's a fucking, like, top-down isometric chibi version of Turok.
It's actually kind of cute.
It looks cute, but it is not even remotely close to what I want from it. Like, Turok has kind of been dead since 2007, I think it was. And, like, I think it's a series that deserves a big comeback, like Doom got and, like, Wolfenstein got. This is not at all what I think this series needs right now. Like, if this had come out after it got like a big reboot or something, and it was already like a established franchise again, like that would be fine. But like after more than 10 years of nothing, that's not what I want, man. Fuck you. Come on. And let's see. I don't really have a thank you this week.
Damn.
You're so unthankful.
I got a fuck you for you.
All right.
You forgot my toothbrush.
All right. My fuck you. My second fuck you. My second fuck
that's a
you
good
goes to
question.
Brad because I've told him multiple times he needs to text me about his toothbrush.
I did.
You texted me today about an hour before I got here. I don't go home between work and here.
Really?
You were about 24 hours too late texting me.
You don't go home?
I
But
don't
don't
go
you
home.
work next to where you live?
No.
That's me.
No. I drive straight here. So there's
If I
that.
message you the day before, you're just not going to remember.
No, literally, you'd message me the night before. I'll throw it in my backpack. Don't worry. If you end up coming on Saturday, I'll give you the toothbrush. If not, I'll bring it to you next week.
I mean, if my wife and
I
my son
know.
are still sick,
If not,
we're not gonna...
I will try to remember to throw it in my bag tonight. You know what? That's neither here nor there. We don't need to talk about this on the show. That is our podcast tonight. Thank you guys so much for listening. 4playernetwork.com is of course the website. Again, reminder, if there's anything you want to chime in about, any of the conversations we had tonight, spark your imagination, questions, thoughts, whatever, leave us a comment on the post for this episode at 4playernetwork.com. If you want to support us, you can find us at Patreon at patreon.com/4player. You can find us at Twitch at twitch.tv/4playerpodcast if you want to subscribe to us there. And of course, if you want to be a part of our community Discord, it's absolutely free and it is by far the best way to keep in touch. It's a great way to just kind of keep tabs on what's going on. Even if you don't necessarily have time to be playing everything, you can hear what everyone's playing or talking about or whatever and kind of stay in the know. You can find us at discord.gg/4player. And we will be back next Thursday night for a new episode. Thank you to everyone who watched us live tonight. We appreciate it. Until next week, good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.